across the 20. And a nice tackle made by Roderick Hood. And so Arkansas will open up 1st and 10 just beyond its own 20-yard line. And we'll take a look first at the Arkansas offensive starting lineups, brought to you by Dodge. Money gets the start at left tackle. White Melton, who's been banged up at center. Sandlin and Nathan Ball starts for the suspended Gary Hobbs at right tackle. That's the starting front for Arkansas. Talley and Stinson, Hamilton, Snowden, and Poitras. And Hampton is the quarterback. You take a look at Robbie Hampton, a sophomore from Mount Pleasant, Texas. The handoff, Talley away from Pounds and to the outside, and a nice run by Fred Talley, brought down by Reggie Torbor. And it's a gain of 5 on the play as Talley was able to bounce to the outside. Take a look again at Robbie Hampton. He's 24 years old. The quarterback for Arkansas spent 4 seasons with the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and he's the one that engineered that game-winning drive against Alabama in Arkansas's lone win this season in the Southeastern Conference. 2nd and 5 for the Hogs from the 26. A 4-wide set, Hampton to throw. And an incomplete pass by Hampton. Looked like he was just trying to float it out to Michael Snowden, the flanker back.
2 things Arkansas would like to do very early on, and that is give Fred Talley some running room in space. He's got great quickness and speed, and they'd like to give him some space to run in. The second thing is to put Arkansas in some 3 and 4 wideouts. Put Arkansas in some 3 and 4 wideouts and make quick passes.
Dodge starting lineups defensively for Auburn: Smith, McNeil, Weldon, and Torbor up front. Brown, Lincoln, and Pate the linebackers, and then a veteran secondary. Here's a big 3rd and 5. Snowden on the catch. Snowden shy of the first down.
That was a big stop right there by the Auburn defense. That's exactly what they needed. An Arkansas offense that's averaging 28 points a game and ranked 5th in the SEC. They've done a really good job of getting the ball in the end zone this year, but a big stop by Alex Lincoln and crew on defense.
We'll finally get you the secondary for Auburn. Casher and Creighton, the senior quarterbacks. Walker and Simmons are the safeties. And before Richie Butler can punt this away, a stoppage in play.
I didn't see any flags down, just heard whistles.
The players were ready to go before the refs.
I believe so.
Richie Butler in punt formation.
Butler will punt it away. He's from Harrison, Arkansas, averaging 44 yards a punt this season. A low end-over-end kick, Clifton Robinson from the 32. Robinson trying to make something happen. Not much of a return as Robinson gets out to the 38-yard line for Auburn. Here's the starting lineups offensively for Auburn, brought to you by Dodge. Auburn up front: Simmons, McGarry, Nowlin, Pasillo, and Sears. Sears did not play a week ago, but gets the start this afternoon at right tackle. Rudy Johnson and Heath Evans the backs. Marcel Willis starting for the injured Ronnie Daniels. And you take a look at Ben Laird, the Auburn quarterback, a senior from Hart County High School in Hartwell, Georgia. He was knocked out of this game a year ago in Fayetteville. He says he remembers the play starting, and the next thing he remembers, Stan, was his mother bending over him in the ambulance, taking him to the hospital.
And that's not a good feeling to wake up and not know what happened, Mike. He took a vicious lick last year. He was getting drugged down from behind, and the side of his head seemed to hit the ground very, very hard. And like Andy said, he woke up later, 20 minutes, and that's all he remembered.
Tough guy. He's bounced back very well, having an outstanding year.
The Auburn offense has been a Jekyll and Hyde offense from time to time. First 5 games, this offense was clicking. Last 4 games, or the last 3 games, it struggled somewhat, and really struggled against Mississippi State and Florida. Well, really unleashed a big-time running game last week against Louisiana Tech.
Excuse me, Andy. It's been just like night and day from last year. You're talking about a rushing offense that was 112th in the nation last year. Moved its way up to a pretty respectable 30th in the NCAA in rushing. So you see that's been a reflection on Rudy Johnson and that strong offensive line.
Auburn will open up in a 3-wide set from its own 38. Laird will work from the shotgun. Ben with time throws. Tim Carter on the catch. Carter is across midfield. into Arkansas territory, brought down by the boundary cornerback, Eddie Jackson from Richardson, Texas.
Well, I would think, Mike, that is exactly what Arkansas is going to do, is make Auburn throw the ball today.
I think they'd like to make them throw the football, and I think if they do that, we'll see Arkansas play more man-to-man coverage today than they have.
13 yards on the gain. Tim Carter on the reception to the Arkansas 49-yard line, and Laird again will work out of the shotgun. Floats to Marcel Willis to the boundary. Willis taken down at the 45-yard line. Ken Hamlin, the free safety out of Memphis, makes the stop for Arkansas. It will be a gain of just over 4 yards for Auburn to the Arkansas 45.
So that's exactly what Auburn wants to do. They want to be able to pick at it, throw the short passes. Tell you what, Ken Hamlin having a great year, leads the team with 56 tackles on the year, team high 6 tackles against South Carolina last week.
Just a freshman, and he's got a very, very bright future, maybe even beyond the collegiate game.
2nd down and 5 for Auburn from the 44. Johnson with his first carry. Puts his head down and gets 3 yards, and that is all. Corey Harris, the first one there for Arkansas to hit him low. Randy Gardner, the stud end, came in to mop up on Rudy Johnson, who leads the Southeastern Conference in rushing on the season, 1,124 yards. He got 2 that time.
Well, he certainly has had a great year. And
first, we'll look at the Arkansas defense, brought to you by Dodge. Garner, Lancaster, Davis, and Hall up front. Jones, Caver, and Harper, the linebackers, and they're all seniors. Here's a big 3rd and 3 for Auburn. And a timeout called by Ben Laird. Didn't like the alignment up front, and Laird will have to call a timeout. 12:05 remaining in the first quarter. Auburn 3rd down and 3 when we return on College Sports Southeast.
Celebrate Gem 5's 20th anniversary at Auburn with a brand new video. 20 years of great calls.
Bye-bye, Bo! Touchdown, Auburn!
Featuring exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, interviews, and, of course, Gem's greatest calls.
Oh, he caught it at the 2, and he dived in! Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn!
To order the video and companion CD, call 1-800-208-2112 or order online at www.aunetwork.com.
Watch College Sports Southeast Friday nights at 6 for College Sports Central Special Edition, featuring College Sports Southeast football analyst Gene Stallings. Special Edition is your source for college sports news. For more information, log on to our website at collegesportscentral.com. Houston Nutt looking for his defense to stop Auburn on 3rd down and 3 from the Arkansas 42. Laird will throw on 3rd. Steps into the pocket, throws. Lorenzo Diamond, the tight end, with a nifty move at the 40, and he's got the first down, brought down by the middle linebacker, Quentin Caver from Anniston, Alabama.
Good job right there of Ben Laird. He got a little bit, he kept his patience in the pocket. Diamond was his first receiver. He looked downfield, came back off to Diamond, and did a good job. Take a look right here. He keeps in the pocket. He stays there. He shifts his feet, and then he sees Diamond very late. Diamond does not have the first down right there. He has to get it on the run. Good job by Lorenzo Diamond getting the first down.
Quentin Caver stays with Diamond eventually to make the tackle. Auburn to the Arkansas 33. For Lorenzo Diamond, his first catch in a while for the Tigers, as Auburn hasn't gone to the tight end much of late. Here comes the blitz. Laird throws. Diamond again with the catch. And a short gainer for the Tigers to the 31. This will just be a 2-yard gain. The free safety, Ken Hamlin from Frazier High School in Memphis, on the stop.
Great job by Auburn to pick up the blitz, and Laird had the open man with a little quick hitter over the middle. And Arkansas is just not getting here in the early going to the backfield to put pressure on the quarterback. They're trying to rush him, but Auburn's doing a great job up front.
That has been a problem for the Auburn defense against the opposing quarterback as well of late.
Well, it certainly has. 433 yards passing for Louisiana Tech last week.
Here's 2nd down and 8 for Auburn at the 31, and Laird checks off to go to the shotgun. The blitz is on, and he's throwing it to DeAndre Green, and it's intercepted down at the 5-yard line by DeAndre Berry. Berry is still on his feet to the 20. A 15-yard return, DeAndre Berry. Laird threw that one up for grabs to or intended for DeAndre Green, and it was another DeAndre, that brought it down, DeAndre Berry.
Ben Laird saw the man-to-man. He went to the fade. Marcel Willis didn't see it. He runs a hitch route. DeAndre Green runs the fade, but the defender comes off. Good job right there of coming off of Marcel Willis. He knew he was trying to go deep with it. Good interception. First turnover of the day.
Quentin Caver came on the blitz. Laird saw him coming and threw it up for grabs, and Berry gets the interception. That's the 4th of the year given up by Ben Laird. Arkansas at its own 21. First time we see the I formation from Arkansas. The play action and rollout. Hampton to throw, does, up the sideline and to the 30-yard line. He goes to Tim Craig, backup tight end. Roderick Hood, Larry Kasher on the stop. For Hamilton actually on the catch. Sparky Hamilton, who's as big as a tight end, he's 6'5".
Two of the things that Houston Nutt said his team had to do was stop the run of Auburn and win the battle of the turnovers. So far, they're +1. Nice throw here by Robbie Hampton, who had a sprained thumb on that throwing hand. He's nursed that back to health here.
9 yards on the gain to Hamilton. There's 2nd and 1, and look at Fred Talley on the first down near the 40, brought down by the starting free safety for Auburn, Stanford Simmons.
And Mike, you were talking about the sprained thumb of Hampton. That is so vital, him having that off week last week, to be able to nurse that back and get that back to help, because I know I've had strained ligaments in my throwing thumb, and it is a painful thing that you can't get. You've seen Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers had the same problem, and he's nursed that for years.
Arkansas to the Auburn 40. Talley again on the carry. Stuck at the line of scrimmage, is able to squirt through for maybe a yard or two before he's brought down by Whit Smith and Roderick Chambers.
And because of the sprained thumb, you're not going to see Robbie Hampton, at least early on, throwing long downfield. And you know that Auburn knows that. Arkansas would like to get some short passes, put the offense in 3 and 4 wideouts, get some short passes, give him some confidence.
You see Alex Lincoln come off the field for Auburn, the Tigers' leading tackler. He's replaced by Mark Brown. That would be a big loss for the Tigers, to be sure. Hampton rolls and throws. It is incomplete to Richard Smith. Roderick Hood was defending for Auburn.
I'm not sure, but Reggie Torbor looked like he may have got a finger on that from the line of scrimmage.
Torbor has been especially effective for Auburn in that situation as a rush end, a converted tailback of a year ago. As you take a look at Roderick Hood.
Torbor is not a very big guy, only 240 pounds, but he's very, very quick and very fast.
3rd and 8 for Arkansas. The Razorbacks 42% on 3rd down this season. Auburn defensively on 3rd down, 32%. Hampton throws. It's complete. Looks like it's close enough for the first down. Needed to get to the 50, and that's exactly what they get. Larry Kasher makes the stop, but it is a first down for Arkansas to Boo Williams. Boy, as late as Tuesday, Mike, we didn't know if this guy would play this week.
He has had the separated shoulder. He had a little ankle injury earlier in this week. We didn't know if we would see him, and certainly not this early in the ball game, but great job by Williams there as he makes the catch for the first down.
You can tell a veteran play because he knew where the first down stick was, and he was able to get there.
That's exactly why Arkansas needs him in the lineup.
Boy, he's so vital to this offense. 440 all-purpose yards on the year.
The nose of the football is at midfield for Arkansas. Hampton throws. He's looking deep, and it's incomplete.
Hamilton's pass to Stephen Harris.
Harris, the intended receiver for Arkansas. And Arkansas fortunate, Mike, that one doesn't go the other way to Auburn.
Yeah, I think Arkansas getting a little greedy right there after picking up the first down, and you get out to midfield. I think they got a little bit greedy on that pass, and Hampton did a good job. He wasn't going to throw the interception. He threw it away out of bounds, really.
Arkansas will go to a 4-wide set on 2nd and 10. The inside handoff to Talley. He's in trouble in the backfield, and he will go down. The initial pressure came from Tavarius Pounds. DeMarco McNeil was the one eventually to get there and to wrap up the talented Fred Talley out of Longview, Texas.
Well, you're exactly right, Mike. This guy is fast. He's quick on his feet.
No question. He's a 100-meter champion in high school in the state of Texas, running a 10-3 in the 100 meters.
Well, he's hard to bring down, but Auburn's swarming defense started by Pounds right there, bringing in by just McNeil, DeMarco McNeil. What a story in this guy.
And you can't blame the Arkansas offensive line that has its back to the play. They don't know he's in trouble back there.
Here's 3rd and 15 for the Hogs. Auburn backs off the blitz. There's the throw. What a hit on Harris by Rodney Creighton. A flag is down.
That, my friends, was a textbook tackle by Rodney Creighton, head to chest. It's like it may go against Arkansas, and they probably will decline this, Mike.
Yeah, you got to believe Arkansas was lined up wrong.
Jay Vines is the referee this afternoon.
Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage against the offense. It's declined. It'll be 4th down.
Watch the hit here by Rodney Creighton on Harris. Harris doesn't have a chance, guys.
This is the way you teach it if you're a defensive coach. Right in the numbers.
Well, it certainly is, and at 5'8", 185 pounds, Creighton's got to go right for the body because he's smaller than Harris.
Butler to punt it away and trying to pin Auburn deep, and he may just do that. Clifton Robinson from the goal line. If he lets that go, it goes into the end zone, and Auburn has the ball at the 20. That's a mistake by a senior as Kevin Baker makes the stop, and you could hear the crowd trying to tell Clifton Robinson where he was.
Let it go. Tommy Tuberville is out here to meet Clifton Robinson also.
From the 7, Auburn will take over when we return on College Sports Southeast. From the 7, Auburn 1st down and 10. The pitch to Rudy Johnson. Johnson stacked up but gets to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard gain for Rudy Johnson. Jeremiah Harper, the bandit linebacker for Arkansas, one of 3 starting senior linebackers for the Hogs, makes the stop.
Carlos Hall was also one of 5 Razorbacks over there, and they know that's the only way they're going to bring Rudy Johnson down is to gang tackle him, get him on the ground. Arkansas's special teams this year, guys, have been a disaster looking for a place to happen, and most all year have found that place to happen. Today, great coverage on the punt by Richie Butler to pin Auburn back at the 7.
You take a look at Johnson, the first 1,000-yard rusher for Auburn in 5 years. He went over the 1,000-yard mark last week against Louisiana Tech. 2nd and 7, the pitch to Johnson. Rudy finding the going tough right now. He gets across the 13-yard line near the 14. Kurt Davis, the nose guard, and the field cornerback DeAndre Berry combined on the stop for Arkansas.
Arkansas is putting 9 guys in the box. What we call the box is from tight end to tight end. How many defenders they have inside that box? 9 guys. They play man-to-man on Tim Carter. They are not going to allow Rudy Johnson to run all over them today.
Not if they can help it, but you look for Auburn in that situation, start spreading some people on the field and trying to spread that defense out a little bit more.
Ronnie Daniels into the game for Auburn. It was a game time decision as to whether he would play this afternoon, but he's in there on this 3rd and 4. Laird will throw. He floats it in the area of Jarris McIntyre and an incomplete pass. Jeremiah Harper defending on the play, and Auburn will be forced to punt it away. So the Tigers go 3 and out after the Hogs pinned Auburn deep.
Well, a couple of good things have happened to Arkansas already. The interception, so they lead in the turnover department. Good special teams coverage, and now they're going to get good field position.
So far, it has been a field position game like you were talking about. Auburn started out great field position. They have a mistake by Robinson fielding the punt. Good coverage by Arkansas. Now Damon DeVal's punting it from his end zone.
And he hits a nice high punt. Fair catch called for. And taken on the play by Gerald Howard. 5:33 remaining in the first quarter. It's a stalemate so far between Auburn and CollegeSportsCentral.com is your one-stop website for college sports in the Southeast. The site brings you up-to-the-minute schedules, results, and standings from the Southeastern Conference on College Sports Southeast. From the 44, Hampton throws. It is incomplete. Intended for Boo Williams. It would have been a first down, but Boo was unable to hang on to the ball. Pressure that time from Alton Moore on Robbie Hampton.
And Mike Hampton is very gingerly getting up. Alton Moore did a good job getting in his face, and Hampton, I saw him get up a little ginger that time.
Alex Lincoln trots onto the field for Auburn. You'll remember he was out on the last series. And Lincoln is back out there for Auburn at the middle linebacker spot, number 43. Talley on the carry. Bounces off one tackle, but can't get away from Dontarius Thomas, and a late flag goes down. The flag was thrown downfield, so we'll wait for the call. It will be a face mask against Auburn. Now the question, is it 5 yards or 15 yards?
Talley is one of those guys that's not going to give you a lot of power between tackles. He's going to have to get outside, turn the corner if he can.
5 yards from the end run. Repeat second down.
And they're going to have to isolate him in some open space.
Well, they certainly are, and I've seen just in the first quarter with 5 minutes left to go in it, he has tremendous speed and quickness, and he makes good cuts, makes good decisions.
3rd and 3 for Arkansas. Hampton will check off as Auburn showed press man and a blitz, and Auburn brings the blitz, and Hampton throws, and it's complete on the play to Richard Smith. Casher with the tackle. Hampton checked off. He saw the blitz coming, went to the short route to Smith, and it's a first down for the Hogs.
What concentration here. Bad behind the pass throw is a good pressure right there by Auburn, but he threw it behind him. Good concentration by Richard Smith coming down with a grab.
Yeah, Smith just runs to a spot, spins, and there's the ball. Good job of delivering by Robbie Hampton, who has a tendency sometimes, guys, to hold on to the ball a little too long.
At the Auburn 41, 1st and 10 for Arkansas. Marcellus Poitras, the tight end, in motion. The handoff to Talley, and he gets stacked up at the line, and that's as far as the 5'9", 190-pound Fred Talley will go. DeMarco McNeil and Alex Lincoln on the stop.
I mean, when he ran into that defensive line, he didn't take another step. It was like he was planted right there. He just doesn't have the power to do that.
You're seeing the strength of that Auburn defense. They're number 14 in the country in the rush defense, averaging 90, giving up 93 yards a game. So Arkansas is going to test that defense and just go right at them.
A gain of 1 for Talley, and boy, that was a tough 1 yard. Here's second down. Talley again on the draw. He's got some running room. And Talley is brought down for a first down by Stanford Simmons. That's a 10-yard gain for Arkansas to the Auburn 30.
Richard Smith, the wide receiver, out in front blocking for him, and might even have gotten in his way there at the tail end of that run.
He certainly did. Look at Talley. Look at the hole right there created by that offensive line. Talley does the rest, getting up about 4 or 5 more yards after getting initially hit by Simmons.
So Arkansas with this deepest penetration to the Auburn 30. Hampton will throw. He looks and throws, and it is complete on the play to Michael Snowden. Snowden for 9 yards on the catch. Snowden had 12 catches coming into this afternoon's action, and that will be his second on the day.
Well, Hampton does a really good job. He wants to stay strong side, looks at his tight end. No one there. Snowden does a good job of coming off Dontarius Thomas, and Hampton does an excellent job of throwing away from the defender.
Snowden's a big target, too, at 6'3", 6'4".
Arkansas has some big receivers. The run this time by Brandon Holmes. Alex Lincoln on the stop. Close to a first down. Holmes is out of Atlanta, Georgia, North Springs High School. He's just a freshman, but a big guy. Boy, just the opposite of Talley. He's 6'2".
And exactly the opposite type runner. He's not the guy that's going to get on the corner and turn it upfield for you. He's the guy that's going to get his yards between the tackles, the power type runner.
Looks like Arkansas needs about a half yard for a first down. And the Razorbacks have called timeout, I think, to think about it. We'll wait and see and make sure.
Sideline warning. Sideline warning. This Arkansas. That's the first one of the game.
All right, no timeout, but get off the sidelines, guys.
Only 11 guys allowed on the field.
Next time it happens, the yellow hanky comes out. So here's third and about a half yard for the Razorbacks. They need to get on the other side of the 20-yard line for the first down. Hampton's going to throw. He does. And it is complete for a first down. What a catch by Richard Smith. A nice throw by Hampton and a first down for the Hogs.
How about that throw? Rob Pate is running his throwing lane, but Hampton just buys his time and leaves it outside to Richard Smith. Great catch by Richard Smith.
Yeah, he zipped that pass. Smith just tight-roping the sideline there and just leaned into the out-of-bounds territory and made the catch.
First and 10 at the
Well, initially, it looked like Auburn had it really well defended with Rob Pate underneath, but Hampton did a good job, and Smith did a good job of getting open.
To the Auburn 18. Arkansas continues to drive. The play action, and Hampton looks to the end zone. He had his fullback Adam Daly open and overthrew it.
Boy, he certainly did, and he wanted that one back. After he threw it, Hampton bent down like, oh, man, I wish I had that back again.
Arkansas, it seems, has thrown to the fullback more this year than it has the last couple of years for Houston. But Adam Daly does such a great job. He's got great hands out there, and that one was just simply overthrown.
Daly's father, of course, a tight end at Arkansas, played from 73 for 75. There's a couple legacies on this Arkansas football team. Second and 10 from the 18 for Arkansas. No tight end, 3 wide receivers. Hampton, the blitz is on, he throws, and it is incomplete. Boo Williams had his hands on the ball a couple times. Dontarius Thomas came on the blitz, and Arkansas still almost completed the pass.
Mike, is there any question that this Hampton is not a tough character? Look at this right here. Dontarius comes off your left edge, just sticks him, and he gets the ball off and almost completes it.
Almost completes it. No question he's tough, Robbie, and probably there's been some criticism of him, and in light of Zach Clark coming on against South Carolina and playing pretty well, but it's criticism that really I don't feel like should be there.
Third and 10 from the Auburn 18 for Arkansas when we return on College Sports Southeast. Keep up the latest or keep up with the latest Auburn sports news by logging on to the Auburn Network website each and every day. Now, this site features live broadcasts, video highlights, and contests. Also, make sure you log on and vote for your favorite Jim Fife radio call over the last 20 years. All of that and much more at the most comprehensive site on the web for Auburn Athletics, www.aunetwork.com. Well, this is a big play early in this game. Arkansas third and 10 from the Auburn 18, a minute 51 to go in the first quarter. Dontarius Thomas introduced himself to Robbie Hampton on second down. Hampton almost completed the pass. Will Auburn blitz on third down? We'll wait and find out. Hampton on the rollout. He's in some trouble, and he gets the ball away, and it's incomplete. Alex Lincoln got a hold of Hampton. Rodale Pearson, if that ball's complete, Pearson, Mike, waltzes into the end zone.
Absolutely, and Robbie Hampton is lucky to escape without a disaster right here. Let's see him rolling back, and once that defender gets his hands on him, Hampton somehow fought his way up, saw the receiver over there, and got it away.
Brennan O'Donohue out to attempt a field goal of just over 36 yards from the hold of Matt Bernstein. Snap is down, the kick is on the way, and he missed it. Place kicking, Mike, you said it earlier, special teams has been a problem. Place kicking has been a problem for Arkansas.
It has been. O'Donoghue's been pretty good since he started, took over the place kicking duties for Matt Schwartz. But let's take a look and see what we could see. It looked like a pretty good snap there. He just didn't hit it very well and way off the mark.
He hit it like I hit my drives. That thing started right and went further right.
Need one of those tight lies, I guess.
I suppose. 1:40 to go in the first quarter. Well, both of these teams, guys, have dodged some bullets. Auburn penetrating early, throws the interception. Arkansas gets to the Auburn 18 and misses the field goal. Both teams have to feel fortunate. The other team isn't on the board.
They certainly have, and both of them have been down there. Like you said, Auburn, you saw the last 2 plays. They really brought a heavy blitz right there. They almost got burned for it if Hampton had enough time to get the ball off.
Robbie Hampton is not the speediest guy back there, believe me. And Auburn, I think as the afternoon wears on, we'll see Auburn put more and more pressure on him.
Well, that certainly is the case with Auburn's quarterback also. Ben Leard is not going to be a big threat to run the ball. He is a pure pocket passer, and Arkansas is wanting to put pressure on him also.
You've seen Arkansas already.
No question about that, but they got Rudy Johnson in the backfield too.
Well, Arkansas has done a good job on Rudy so far. 3 carries, only 8 yards from the 20. Rudy will carry it, but not before the play is stopped.
Left tackle jumped early, I think.
Kendall Simmons moving early for Auburn, and that will be a 5-yard penalty against the Tigers. Auburn.
Dead ball. Ball start. It's the offense. 5 yards.
Boy, in Auburn's 2 losses this year, penalties were a problem. Auburn's averaging over 60 yards in penalties per game.
But certainly has been their Achilles heel on the season, and like you said, the 2 losses, they just put up the penalty numbers in a big way. And right now, when you start off 1st and 10 on your own 20 and moves it back to 1st and 15, Noel Mazzoni's got to get more conservative now.
From the 15-yard line, Robinson in motion. Rudy Johnson will carry. Burst through the crowd. Johnson carries for a first down for Auburn. Johnson gets 15 yards. He was hit the whole way, and he's got a first down for the Tigers.
And you hear the chant of Rudy in the crowd right here. 1st and 15 right up the middle, Mike, and he's going to take it and get hit about 5 yards through the line, but look at Rudy carry him with his strength.
How do you practice that? How do you practice bringing that guy down? Tackle a bulldozer, maybe. I don't know.
To the 30, 1st and 10 for Auburn. Rudy again the carry. He gets 2 yards and pays for it this time. Raymond House with the stop for Arkansas. The 6'3", 257-pound sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas on the stop.
3 yards. 2nd and 7 at the 33.
Raymond House had 7 sacks as a senior at McClellan High School in Mike's hometown, or Mike's territory up in Little Rock.
Yeah.
A 3-yard gain for Rudy Johnson. It will bring 2nd down and 7, and the officials have called a time. An official's timeout, maybe an equipment timeout, I'm not sure, but the clock returns. Under 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here comes the rush. Leard floats it. The catch made by Jarris McIntyre. He tried to get out of the tackle on the play by Tony Bua. Eddie Jackson also on the stop for Arkansas.
Well, Auburn's just going to do a little juke route to Jarris McIntyre into the boundary. Leard just takes it, throws it to the inside receiver. Good route right there, but what a stick and what a tackle right there.
Bua just holds on until he gets help, and they get him to the ground. Good job by Tony Bua.
Well, the first quarter, a scoreless tie at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn and Arkansas scoreless as we move to the second quarter. This is Auburn and Arkansas football on College Sports Southeast. Welcome back to Jordan-Hare Stadium. First quarter scoreless between Auburn and Arkansas. Both teams had chances. Both teams deep in the opponent's territory, but a interception by Ben Leard and a missed field goal attempt by Brennan O'Donohoe, and this game is scoreless as we open the second quarter on a sunshiny day on the plains. Rudy Johnson on the day, 5 carries, 26 yards, including a 15-yard carry on this drive. Over 1,000 yards, 249 yards, 4 touchdowns last week.
Mike, it's a big 3rd down right here. If Auburn makes it, they can establish some better field position. If Arkansas holds them, they keep the field position edge.
Absolutely.
Auburn with a 5-wide set. I believe it's the first time we've seen this from Auburn all season long. Laird's got to get rid of it in a hurry. He does to Tim Carter, and Carter to the 45-yard line has the first down. Ben Laird throws the opposite side from the 4, the diamond set, as we look at the first half statistics, or first quarter statistics, and Arkansas with the ball almost 3 minutes more than Auburn in the first quarter. Everything else pretty well the same.
We were talking about that formation, Andy. That was really a disguise formation. Just to put 4 guys out wide, spread it out, and go one-on-one to the weak side.
From the 45 of Auburn, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Lorenzo Diamond in motion. They hand off to Heath Evans, the fullback, who bulls his way to the 50. Evans is a crowd favorite. He gets 5 yards on first down.
Well, and you've seen that patented play right there, just a little hunt play, zone blocking right across the middle, goes right over the right guard. Heath Evans averaging 5 yards a carry has really been a catalyst for this running game, blocking and carrying the ball.
Evans had a great day against Arkansas last year, and he was about the only one to say that. 15 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown, and that was the only bright spot for the Tigers in Fayetteville a year ago.
And he was running over people.
2nd and 5 for the Tigers. Laird, deep drop, in the pocket, rolls, throws, complete. This will be close to a first down, about a half-yard shy. The pass complete to Reggie Worthy. DeAndre Berry, the field side corner, makes the stop for Arkansas, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a very short distance for Auburn.
Ben got a little bit jumpy in the pocket right there. He was trying to find a gap. He does a good job of stepping up, thinks he wants to run it, thinks he wants to run it again, and then he comes up and finds Reggie Worthy right at the first down marker.
And a good job by Worthy coming back to the football, too.
That's where you're seeing Reggie Worthy. Tommy Tuberville has said he is the best receiver at doing that. Not the most talented, not the fastest, but he's the best receiver at coming back to the ball. That's senior. That's being a senior right there.
A 3rd down for Auburn. The Tigers need about a half yard on 3rd downs today. Tigers already 2 of 5. Laird on the quarterback keeper, and I'm not sure he made it.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either, Mike. And now a decision for Tommy Tuberville. Does he go for it on 4th down at the Arkansas 46?
I don't think there's any question that he's probably going to go for it. Ben Laird looked like that's the first time this year he has not converted a quarterback sneak. He looked like he tripped over his own player's feet or something, because look at it right here over the left guard. He gets tripped up by his own guard, but good penetration by that defensive front of Arkansas.
Auburn is 7 of 12 on 4th down this season. And I think the Tigers will take a timeout to talk it over. 12:28 to go in the first half. Auburn and Arkansas scoreless. Don't forget, College Sports South will replay every Auburn game in its entirety this year. Sundays at noon and Wednesday nights at 7. It's the best Auburn football coverage anywhere, only on College Sports Southeast. Call your local cable operator for more information on how you can receive CSSE. 4th and 1 for Auburn at the Arkansas 46.
I was watching the near sideline, and Tommy Tuberville was not happy with his assistant coaches at not getting that play in and getting it called.
Well, Auburn has already used 2 of its 3 timeouts in the first half. Stan, do you look for Ben to keep it again, or will Auburn mix it up?
I doubt it. I would think you're going to see a heavy set with Heath Evans and an I backfield with Rudy Johnson behind him, and I would think you're going to see Johnson over right tackle or left tackle. But you never know. You got the Riverboat Gambler as a head coach. He may play action fake it and try to throw it deep.
Lowell Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator for Auburn. 4th and a full yard for the Tigers. Evans is the one tailback for Auburn. He gets it. Evans bulls his way forward, and now will depend on the spot. This will be very, very close.
I think the mark he had to get to was the 45-yard line of Arkansas. If it's anywhere on that, he may have gotten it.
Yeah, if he got to that white stripe, I think he got it. It is.
Boy, that was close. And I'm surprised, guys, they didn't even measure this one.
And that's one thing we didn't even think about. That Heath Evans has not had a rush for a loss, I think, in 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, or 19, maybe last year. So he was the one that we didn't even think about going to him.
Well, a sigh of relief you can bet breathed by that Auburn coaching staff. And this drive continues at the Arkansas 45. 9th play of the drive right here. Rudy Johnson busts through the line. Rudy Johnson gets 7 yards, maybe 8. He's brought down by Quentin Caver. Stan, Arkansas put nearly everyone up in the box. Rudy was able to get through that initial wave.
They certainly did, and that's the good blocking by those front guys up front, Colin Sears and Mike Pasillo. But Rudy Johnson does a good job of finding the hole and picking up 8 yards before Quentin Caver, the all-everything linebacker for Arkansas, can bring him down.
Caver had some ground to cover before bulldogging him to the ground.
8 yards on first down for the Tigers. Leard goes downfield to Jarris McIntyre, incomplete. Fans wanting interference, but no flag comes. Carlos Hall put some pressure that time on Ben Leard.
I think the fans were seeing Ken Hamlin come in late, the free safety, and get a good shove on McIntyre there.
Fans get a shot of it on the Jumbotron, and they'll see that right there. I'm not sure he's even really close to the football at that point, though, guys.
Whatever happened, Ben Leard didn't see it.
Here's 3rd and 2 for Auburn now. Johnson will get the carry, and he's hit behind the line, and he'll lose yards. They tried to go behind Hart McGarry and Kendall Simmons, and Arkansas would have nothing of it. Kurt Davis, the 6'3", 265-pound junior nose guard on the stop for Arkansas.
Boy, he has been solid for the Arkansas defense this year. Davis has done a great job in that.
Yeah, 20 tackles from your nose guard coming in this late in the season. That guy's been active. 4th down, and Auburn will go for it. Wow. Leard, short drop. Now looking, throwing, complete to Tim Carter. Got the first down in the foot race. With the spin move. Carter's still on his feet, and he scored.
What an individual effort by Tim Carter right there. Breaking tackles left and right, leaving guys in his path, and then you see the track speed come open by a great individual effort of Tim Carter and Ben Leard getting the ball to him.
Well, the only question as to whether Carter would be brought down, that's a first down catch, and then DeAndre Berry has the first crack at Tim Carter.
Watch this right here. They want a quick slant route. Good job of coverage by Arkansas. Ben Leard improvises, throws to Tim Carter, breaks one tackle there. Watch his spin move. Whoop, no thank you. Comes off. Great move right there on Hamlin, the leading tackler, and Carter does the rest.
37 yards on the touchdown from Ben Leard to Tim Carter.
Trainers had to help Jeremiah Harper off the field of the Arkansas sideline. Kurt Davis limped off as well.
There were 2 4th down conversions for Auburn on that drive as Duvall is on to attempt the extra point. Damon Duvall has not missed an extra point in his Auburn career. And with 10:23 to go in the first half, the Tigers are on the board first, 7-0 Auburn.
Celebrate Gem 5's 20th anniversary at Auburn with a brand new video. 20 years of great calls.
Bye-bye, Bo! Touchdown, Auburn!
Featuring exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, interviews, and, of course, Gem's greatest calls.
Oh, he caught it at the 2, and he dived in! Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn!
To order the video and companion CD, call 1-800-208-2112 or order online at www.aunetwork.com.
Think you're a Southeastern Conference fanatic? Go to collegesportscentral.com to test your SEC knowledge with the Brain Stumper Trivia. Submit a correct answer for a chance to win a College Sports Southeast t-shirt. collegesportscentral.com is your source for college sports news and information and Brain Stumper Trivia.
After Arkansas lost to South Carolina 2 weeks ago, one of the first things the media asked Houston is, what do you have to accomplish during the off week and the coming 2 weeks with this team? He said primarily the first thing we have to do is convince them that when something bad happens, you don't lay down. When something bad happens, you have to believe that something good is going to happen on the very next play.
Duvall with the kickoff. 5 yards deep in the end zone, and Wisely Arkansas will open up 1st and 10 at its own 20. We'll take a look at the scoring drive, and boy, it was methodical at best for Auburn. The Tigers completed 2 fourth downs on this drive, going 80 yards in 12 plays, 6 minutes and 17 seconds. Stan, Auburn's not capable of a drive like that last year.
They certainly were not. Running the ball, mixing in Heath Evans and the big stumbling, rumbling Rudy Johnson, and then coming back and making the passes when they need to is a really good balanced attack by the Auburn offense.
Arkansas 1st and 10 from its own 20. Hampton the carrier, the Talley with the carry, and he's got 1st down yardage and more. And now this is a foot race, and Talley will just blow everybody away. 80 yards and a touchdown for Arkansas. Wow.
Mike, you called it, I think. You said you got to believe. Houston Nutt said you got to believe something's good's going to happen, and you called it.
That's amazing. To tell his team that you have to believe something good's going to happen on the very next play, and to have it happen, this has got to be a great shot in the arm for Arkansas. Both these touchdowns by Auburn and Arkansas coming on plays that weren't designed to do what they did.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Both highlight material, however. Talley goes 80 yards in a hurry. O'Donohoe rather on for the extra point, and we are tied. It took one play for Arkansas to come back and tie the game. 10:04 to go. Watch Talley as he collides with his own right guard, Kenny Sandlin. Right here. He's the only one that has a chance on Talley.
Boy, look at this guy's speed when he gets in the open field.
That must feel great, running right down the middle of the field and knowing no one's going to touch you.
I'd like to see Talley and Tim Carter line up at the goal line and have about a 100-yard race. That'd be a good little matchup, I believe.
So Houston Nuts Ball Club bounces right back. And that's by far the longest touchdown run against Auburn this season. Didn't take long, did it?
Didn't take long. Arkansas, I think that's the 11th touchdown drive of less than 2 minutes this year, and the 9th of those 11 that's taken less than a minute.
Well, in the blink of an eye, Talley went from the 20 to the goal line, going 80 yards. Matt Schwartz, who began the season not only as the kickoff guy but also the place kicker for Arkansas, will kick this off for the Razorbacks. Tied at 7 with 10:04 to go in the first half. Tim Carter fumbles in the end zone. And he'll pay the price at the 10. It looked like Carter and Travaris Robinson couldn't decide on who was going to catch the ball.
Well, they certainly couldn't, and they're not making it any easier for that Auburn offense.
I want to tell you what, guys, that's a heads-up play, though, in the end zone. When he dropped the football, it was behind the goal line, of course. He knew he had to pick that football up and get the heck out of there.
Caleb Miller makes the stop for Arkansas as Tim Carter confers with Eddie Grant, who's Auburn's special teams coach.
Some guys drop a kick like that, and they just want to walk off and leave it.
From the 10, first down for Auburn. Play action Lear with time, throwing deep for DeAndre Green, who caught it. Oh, he didn't catch it. Excuse me. He had it and dropped it.
Boy, what a great effort.
Certainly was. DeAndre Green, the freshman out of Pritchard, Alabama. Really good effort. Double covered here. He had Heath Evans wide open in the flat.
Yeah, Stan, look at the coverage on this. Great coverage.
Really good coverage. Take a look, and DeAndre just goes up high, almost comes down with it. It's hard to tell whether the ball calls that, but he didn't hang on to it. You see the ball coming out.
2nd and 10 for Auburn. Rudy Johnson taken down after a 2-yard gain, and that is all for Johnson.
Stan, your Tommy Tuberville, your team's just scored, and then they give up the big 80-yard touchdown run. what do you tell them now? They got to be a little bit deflated. You tell them, hey, we just drove the ball 80 yards down the field on these guys. They got a touchdown on one big play. Let's just go back and do what we've been doing.
You're exactly right. You got to come back and throw it. Now, Arkansas has done an excellent job. It put them in the hole starting at their own 10-yard line. So you're going to see Noah Mazzoni have to throw it here, but Ben Laird has got to watch it because Arkansas will be looking for it to try to get that pick.
3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Laird throws and incomplete, intended for Marcel Willis. DeAndre Berry defending on the play, and Auburn will be forced to punt it away. The Razorbacks hold.
Arkansas has had a terrible time this year trying to catch punts, and the new guy back this week, Stedman Campbell, is the deep man. One of those legacies you were talking about earlier. His dad, Lewis Campbell, a great defensive back who incidentally wore number 37 at Arkansas.
Stedman will look into the sun on this punt from Duval. High, and Stedman Campbell catches it on the fair catch, and Arkansas will have good field position at its own 47. 41 yards on the punt by Damon Duval. But Arkansas set up 1st and 10 at its own 47-yard line as the Razorbacks hold Auburn 3 and out, and now the Hogs come back on the field with some momentum.
Good field position.
Talley again to the outside and through. Boy, he's a busted tackle away from breaking that again. It was Larry Kasher who may have made a touchdown-saving tackle for Auburn.
Well, you were right earlier in the game, Mike. You talked about how fast Talley hits the holes. I mean, he's not going to be the big bruiser type guy that breaks a lot of tackles, but he hits that hole quicker than any back that Auburn's seen all year.
He gets there in a hurry, no question. Once he gets there, he has an extra burst that seems to kick in and can get him through those holes sometimes.
2nd down and 6. Talley again, this time hit behind the line. Dontarius Thomas brings him down, and he'll lose a couple yards.
Good play right there by Dontarius Thomas, a 6'4", 220 pounds. Wow, 620-pound freshman, right?
That guy's big, and he can still run.
Now that's the downside of a Fred Talley, where a defensive lineman or linebacker can come through and pick you up like a loaf of bread and just sit down with you.
Talley on the day already over 100 yards. Here's 3rd and 6. Auburn with 7 in the box. Hampton to throw. He looks and he's got his man wide open. It's a 1st down to the 30-yard line. The catch made by Boo Williams.
Williams went a great route down the sideline, just a streak route, stopped, made a turn, and when he did, the defender fell down, and all he had to do was make sure he caught the football at that point.
19 yards on the gain. Creighton was defending on the play, and as Mike mentioned, Creighton fell down. All Boo had to do was wait for that ball to come to him. 1st down to the Auburn 30. Going deep to the end zone, wide open and incomplete. Oh my, Michael Snowden was open by 10 yards and Hampton overthrew him.
By 10 inches.
Let me ask you something. Are there Auburn cornerbacks on skates out there? That time Larry Kasher slipped down. That was an out and up route that Larry Kasher bit on. He really played it well, but he just slipped down. You're not going to see it on this angle right here. But Hampton's going to come out on the rollout. It was an out and up route, and you're going to see Larry Kasher just get up, and he was beat badly.
When you have to adjust in the middle of a pass route, it's...
Ooh. Auburn dodges a big-time bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. Talley on the draw, nothing doing for Talley. Javor Mills with the initial hit for Auburn. Mills and Whit Smith have just alternated starting out at that left end spot. Mills out of Holmes Community College. He's originally from Wilmington, Delaware. And now here's a 3rd and 13 for the Razorbacks. Hampton for Snowden. He can't get it. Good coverage that time for Auburn by Roderick Hood.
Outstanding coverage. I mean, you just don't cover it any better. Snowden was trying to feel him off his hip there. Just a great job.
Certainly was. Snowden, and it was a good throw by Hampton. He couldn't put it anywhere else right there. Roderick Hood just does an excellent job of covering one-on-one. Just an inch away again.
Arkansas shows punt. Richie Butler to do it. He'll try to pin Auburn deep. No, he's going to throw up the sideline. Larry Kasher with the interception at the 5. And guys, basically that's just a punt. You don't want to catch that football.
Exactly. Throw it deep downfield. If it gets intercepted, so what?
That was, look, and Tommy Tuberville knows it on the sideline down there. He is going, why did you do that? Why not bat it down? He's the first one to meet him right there. Say, why did you do that?
It's the 11th interception of Larry Kasher's career, but I think he'd like to be able to just get another crack at that one and drop it.
Butler could have punted the ball 10 times from where he was, and maybe once he would have gotten better field position as a result.
So Auburn now at the 5-yard line.
Boy, and he's hearing an earful right there. He knows that was just a, I don't know, a dumb play, I guess.
From the 5, 1st and 10 for Auburn. In the end zone, Laird will throw it. Up the sideline, Tim Carter's got it. He's got the first down, and he's taken out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
That was the definition of wide open right there, and you see Hamlin talking. Let's take a look. Hamlin and Eddie Jackson talking about the coverage out there.
Boy, he certainly was. Just a corner route. And it looked like there was a little bit of activity. A little bit of activity on the sideline over there.
Hamlin may have been guilty of the late hit. It was not called, but Auburn is out to its own 23. Rudy Johnson will get this carry. And Johnson taken down at the 33-yard line. J.J. Jones, 6 foot, 232-pound senior from Magnolia, Arkansas, on the stop for the Hogs.
Ken Hamlin came up to help out. Well, that's got to be some kind of a feeling for a defensive back to see that guy break through the line of scrimmage and to know that you got to go get him down.
5'10", 230 pounds, and he is a cannonball.
A 6-yard gain for Rudy to the 29-yard line. The pitch to Rudy Johnson. Hit behind the line, and he'll go down. Jermaine Petty on the initial hit for Arkansas. That was just a collision more than a tackle.
Got him around the ankle, it looked like. Just reached in and swiped him at the ankle and knocked his feet out from under him. Not much of a tackle. Let's see if we can tell on the replay.
Looks like number 22, Tony Buick right there. Is that number 22? I can't tell. Looks like he does a spin move and just kind of leads his way into Rudy Johnson.
So 3rd and 6 for Auburn. The Tigers are 2 of 6 on 3rd down today. Laird throws. Reggie Worthy has it. Puts his head down and gets the first down to the 35-yard line. DeAndre Berry has been busy at that field cornerback, and he makes the stop, but not before. Laird and Worthy connect on a first down.
Auburn does a good job on their 3rd down effectiveness today already. They're 3 of 7 today. Take a look at it right now. Ben Laird, just a simple curl route to the senior Reggie Worthy, who puts his head down and gets a few more.
At the 36, 2nd and 10, or first down and 10 for Auburn. The rollout by Laird. He throws for Clifton Robinson, incomplete with a flag down, thrown in the secondary. Boy, Quentin Caver came flying in on Ben Laird.
He certainly did.
That's got to be frightening. But a flag was thrown near where the ball was thrown.
When flags are thrown from that referee, it seems like it can be holding on the defense, and that's what it's going to be.
It was always holding on the defense when you were playing, right,
It was
Stan?
always holding, and it was always pass interference.
Spoken like a true quarterback.
And the receiver was never wide open.
Yeah, it was a thread the needle.
It was always a thread the needle pass. And for that matter, I was always getting pressured.
That's the truth. From the 46, a first down for Auburn following the holding call against Arkansas. Arkansas blitzes the handoff to Rudy Johnson. Bounces to the outside. Big gainer for Rudy. Puts his head down and gets to the 35.
Well, you see number 30 come up and put a big stick on Rudy, but not after getting 14, 15 yards on that run. Good cut right here, Mike. Look, one thing about Rudy Johnson, he does so well. He's strong and powerful, everybody knows, but he has excellent vision when it comes to the line of scrimmage.
And boy, if you just if you don't wrap him up the first time, you better look out, because he is an arm load and does a great job, I think, at bouncing off those tackles and knowing where to go.
59 yards for Rudy Johnson on the afternoon on 11 carries. Auburn now at the Arkansas 35. McIntyre in motion. Johnson again tries to cut back across the grain. Nothing doing this time. Arkansas with all kinds of coverage that time on Rudy Johnson. Carlos Hall led the charge, the end for Arkansas, and that will be a loss of 1 or 2 for Auburn.
Rudy, of course, transferred to Auburn out of junior college in Kansas. His head coach at that junior college, James Shebest, the former Razorback great, who is now on Houston Nutt's coaching staff.
I think Coach Nutt used the former junior college coach for a little scouting. A loss of 2 back to the 37.
Got to hurry up. The play clock's getting down.
Leard in trouble, throws to Jarris McIntyre, who gets to the 30. It's a 7-yard gain. Derek Johnson, who's out of Duncan, Oklahoma, made the stop for Arkansas.
We were talking about Ben Leard and Hampton. Both quarterbacks are not the fastest, speediest guys in the world, but just little shifts that you make can allow you to sit in the pocket longer. Take a look at it. Ben Leard does a good job of sidestepping the oncoming rusher right there, just enough to get out of the way and throw it and make the play.
And you saw the defender had him by the jersey and pulling out. That's a tough pass to make. He's put some zip on that one.
3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Short drop, Leard throws complete to McIntyre for a first down. Jarris McIntyre getting more playing time today than he's had all season, Stan. Caver made the stop for Arkansas. The drive continues for Auburn.
They certainly are. They're going to their receiving core again. That's not only Ronnie Daniels. You got Jarris McIntyre, Tim Carter, Marcel Willis, Reggie Worthy. The list goes on. Take a look. Very methodical drive by Auburn. They're converting the 3rd downs. Good job on the curl route to McIntyre.
Remember, this started at the 5-yard line.
5 of Auburn's drives today have already started inside the 10. Right now, Auburn at the Arkansas 23. The pitch to Rudy. Johnson with a spin move on his feet. First down and more. Rudy Johnson scores! 23 yards.
He was thinking, Tim Carter, you're not the only one that can do a spin move in the open field. What a run by Rudy Johnson. Breaking tackles left and right. Good blocking at the point of attack by the offensive line, and lead blocking by Heath Evans.
That is unbelievable running by Rudy Johnson.
Boy, he's got this crowd just fired up now. The sea of orange.
Duvall to attempt the extra point. And it is through. Well, it's not tough, guys, to see why Rudy Johnson was twice the MVP of the National Junior College Championship game.
Coming into today's game, Rudy Johnson had rushed for 255 more yards than the Arkansas team.
He goes 23 yards here for the touchdown. 2:26 to go in the first half. Auburn up by a touchdown on the Razorbacks. Auburn men basketball team opens the season Wednesday, November 1st at 7 in an exhibition game against the Global Sports All-Stars. The Auburn women begin Friday, November 3rd at 7 with an exhibition game against Premier Players. Both of those games, by the way, are free, but for season ticket information, call 1-800-AUB-1957. Today, the Auburn men held a second scrimmage. Adam Harrington, 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 steals for the transfer from North Carolina State. There's a transfer from Butler County Community College, and Auburn is happy to have Rudy Johnson.
And Mike, seeing that replay, they're all everything Butkus Award candidate is the first guy to miss that tackle, Quentin Caver.
Yeah, I was going to say Rudy Johnson is the kickoff is touched back. He didn't exactly run over chopped meat out there. Quentin Caver was the first one to miss him. J.J. Jones, Sasha Lancaster were all out there and couldn't get him on the ground.
Well, we've seen some outstanding running backs already today in diverse styles. We saw Talley just outrun the stadium for 80 yards, and then we see Rudy Johnson get hit by half of the Arkansas squad going 23 yards for a touchdown. From the 20, 1st and 10 for the Razorbacks. Hampton to throw. He does to Richard Smith. And Smith goes down after a 7-yard gain. Make it 8 yards to Smith. More on the stop. 8 yards on the gain. Hampton to Richard Smith.
This is a good decision, I think, by Smith, too. It's just a 5-stop drop by Hampton. He knew who he was going to. Smith makes the catch and then just tries to get positive yardage up near the first down marker.
Tell you what, we're seeing a pretty deep wide receiving core for Arkansas this afternoon. Here's Talley on the carry. Talley wrapped up nicely by Rashad Walker. And folks, if Rashad Walker doesn't get there, Talley may be still running.
He freed himself long enough to dive forward for the first down.
Like you were talking about, you're seeing diverse running today. Rudy Johnson and then Talley with his speed, but Talley has a little bit of power right here. Walker has him by the shoestring, but he gets enough, like you said, Mike, to get the first down.
Falling forward for the first down. Talley, who's already over 100 yards rushing on the afternoon. And there's Rashad Walker from Decatur, Georgia. From the 30, 1st and 10. The play action rollout by Hampton. Looking and throwing. It's complete up the sideline. And taken down after a 8-yard gain is Michael Snowden. Creighton on the stop for Auburn, but again, Arkansas on first down. Mike gets 8 yards.
It gets 8 yards, and Snowden was just a safety man on that play. Snowden went to the sideline, planted himself, and just waited. Hampton wanted to go deep, but the man was covered and just dumped it off to Snowden, and he got what he could.
Well, that's one thing Auburn is going to give them the 7- and 8-yard catches, because a minute 15 left to go in the half. They're going to give them the 8- and 10-yard runs. They don't want them to get downfield.
I think Arkansas will take it 8 yards in a chunk right now. Hampton to throw again. Does to the sideline. It's complete near midfield to Sparky Hamilton. 6'5", 212, and a sophomore from Lufkin, Texas. Rodney Creighton on the stop for Auburn.
Did you have 4, 6, 4, or 5 wide receivers to throw to when you were playing
No,
stand?
I was lucky to have one.
Nice catch. Just tuck it in and get out of bounds.
They grow them bigger these days. And on the offensive line, if you're under 300 pounds, you're considered small.
At midfield, first down for Arkansas. Talley on the carry. He falls forward, a gain of 2 on the play. Dontarius Thomas, the redshirt freshman for Auburn from Perry, Georgia, on the stop. He led Auburn in tackles against Florida with 8. He had 4 tackles last week against Louisiana Tech. And to stop the clock with 1:01 to go in the first half, Arkansas has used its second timeout. And I've got to think, Mike, that Houston Nutt is thinking end zone right here. He's not thinking field goal at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking. He wants to get it in the end zone, but you still would like to finish the half on a positive note. If you don't get there, and he's not saying anything about it to his players right now. He's saying, we got to take this thing, we got to score, we got to cross that goal line. If he has to settle for a field goal, he'd like to get one just to give his team a positive charge going in at halftime.
On the other side, Tommy Tuberville looking for his defense to make a stand here. With Arkansas driving to the Auburn 48-yard line, still 1:01 to go in the half, and Arkansas has one timeout remaining.
And you think 1:01 is really not a lot of time. It really is. With the way teams are doing these days on offense, they're throwing 8-10-yard out routes. You could run. Most drives, you saw that one Arkansas drive was 19 seconds. Of course, it was one run for 80 yards, but that's plenty of time left.
Double tight end set. Hampton with a pump fake. Now he's in trouble, and he'll just throw this one away. The pressure came from Alton Moore. And a flag down, and this may be roughing the passer on Auburn. Is it roughing the passer, or is it grounding by Hampton?
Now, I think they've made a rule, if I'm not mistaken, that quarterbacks now in college can throw it away when they're outside the pocket like the NFL.
I think he's going to pick it up.
Off. He is. They just made that rule this year.
It's ruled intentional grounding. He was outside.
Boy, I wish they had that when I was playing. Save me a few concussions.
Well, that's the right call, but I think when Alton Moore got up and saw that flag, he thought it was going to be roughing the passer.
Great call on defense, too, by Auburn. And what a time to put the pressure on Robbie Hampton, who had Boo Williams and Sparky Hamilton to the right side, and he was going to go deep.
3rd and 8. The blitz is on again. Hampton throws, and it's complete. Oh, what a nice catch out there. Sparky Hamilton with the first down grab. Rodney Creighton looked like he fell down on the play.
Boy, it was really good coverage right there. Hampton does a good job, and Hamilton does an excellent job of bringing that ball in.
That's just his size right there. That's where you see size winning out against the smaller defensive back.
Arkansas live at the Auburn 38. Hampton to throw again. He's going deep to Hamilton, and he's got it at the 3. Once again, Hamilton against Rodney Creighton. Hamilton is 6'5", Creighton is 5'8".
Perfectly thrown pass, too.
With Alton Moore right in his face. Good job by Hampton.
Lots of air under that pass.
And a nice grab by Sparky Hamilton. And now the Razorbacks have 1st and goal from the Auburn 3. Trying to tie this one going into the locker room at halftime. Brandon Holmes is the tailback, and he'll get the carry, and he'll get the touchdown. Holmes almost untouched on a 3-yard gain. The Razorbacks within an extra point of tying it up.
Razorbacks answer with an 80-yard drive of their own to tie this one up if they get the extra point here. But, well, that's just an outstanding drive. Good job by Robbie Hampton. He made some good decisions and some great catches. And then the big freshman, of course, gets the touchdown right up the middle.
Melton, Lazarius White, and Sandlin got a big hole that time for Holmes. Here's O'Donohoe on to attempt the extra point. And this game is all tied up with 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Well, Auburn has scored twice, and each time Arkansas has driven 80 yards to answer.
Guys, I didn't jot down at what time Arkansas took possession on that particular drive, but again, another quick scoring drive by Arkansas.
I want to say there was about 2:18 or 2:19 left in the half.
So there's another one in less than 2 minutes.
Look at the hole for Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
He's not touched until he's into the end zone.
Kenny Sandlin at right guard there did an excellent job of pinning the defense down and opening up the hole.
Under 2 minutes on the drive, 9 plays, 80 yards, a minute 57.
How about these weights right here? Nathan Ball, 300 pounds. Lazarius White, 320. Josh Melton, 310. Kenny Sandlin, 316. Gary Hobbs, 314.
Well, Hobbs not playing today, suspended, and it's Shannon Money, who's 310, is now the tackle.
They're losing a little bit on weight, right?
They lose all of 4 pounds.
Nathan Ball started the year at tight end. Made a couple of catches, moved from tight end when injuries kind of depleted the offensive line a little bit. They needed him inside, so he moved back to tackle where he played last year.
Fed him a few more filet mignons and said, get down to tackle.
Big boy, I can tell you, big boy.
Swartz will kick it off. And a low line drive kick. Tim Carter on the sideline. Now reverses field. A flag down. This will be a block in the back on Auburn as Carter springs free out to the 25, but they'll bring this one back. And remember, this is the penalty from the point of infraction. That's going to take Auburn inside its own 10.
Flag down right about the 15, and I think you're right. The preliminary indication is the illegal block in the back.
Well, now you're probably going to see with 21 seconds left to go in the half, Auburn will probably just sit on it and go in with a 14-14 tie.
This game is crucial for both teams.
Receiving team at the distance, spot the foul. First down.
This game is crucial for both teams to stay in the race in the SEC West.
How about that SEC West? Every team with 2 losses.
This will be Auburn's 4th drive today out of 6 that has started inside its own 10-yard line, gentlemen. This one starts at the 8, and Laird just takes it in. If Arkansas doesn't want to stop the clock, this game will move to halftime, scored or tied at 14. Well, Auburn scored a pair of touchdowns, and Arkansas responded with 2 80-yard drives. And at halftime of this big SEC West battle between Auburn and Arkansas, the game is tied 14 apiece. You're watching the Auburn Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks on College Sports Southeast. Welcome back to Jordan-Hare Stadium at halftime, tied at 14 apiece. Auburn and Arkansas with Mike Nail and Stan White. I'm Andy Burcham. The first half, we'll take a look at the stats a little bit later on, but pretty evenly played first half of play. Mike, I've got to think Houston Nutt pretty pleased as he goes into the locker room.
I think he's tickled to death as he goes into that locker room at halftime. It's by far Arkansas's best half of football in quite some time.
And for Auburn, the Tigers able to score, but they can't keep Arkansas out of the end zone, Stan.
Well, they certainly can't. 2 big plays for that Arkansas offense. They went into the locker room on a positive note, scoring a touchdown right before the half. Be a big second half.
First half highlights, and we'll take a look at those. Arkansas had a chance to get on the board early. The missed field goal by Brennan O'Donohoe, and Auburn came right back. You see the pass here, Lear looking left and then looking right to Tim Carter.
Individual effort. Look at this right here. Tim Carter, swim move, whoop, does a spin right there, goes in for the touchdown. Great run right there.
It did not take long, Mike, though, for Arkansas to respond.
Fred Talley hits a hole quickly, gets a little help from Sandlin there, and then when he gets in the open, it's a foot race, and not many people going to catch Fred Talley.
The least of which is the Auburn defense at this point. Talley goes 80 yards for the game-time touchdown. The Tigers then get a great run from Rudy Johnson to go ahead.
Look at the block right there by Heath Evans. A spin move on Quentin Caver. Look at the bouncing left and right, spinning, goes into the touchdown.
And then Arkansas gets a great drive, and they go big up top down the sideline.
Great catch here by Sparky Hamilton inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, and then, of course, Brandon Holmes gets the touchdown from 3 yards out to even this thing up.
Both of Arkansas's drives under 2 minutes. You look at the first half statistics, and really, with the exception of the time of possession, this game is as even as the scoreboard right now.
Very even, and the time of possession is a little deceiving in that Arkansas's 2 touchdown drives took less than 2 minutes off the clock, each one of them. Auburn's had an 80-yard drive for a touchdown and 95-yard drive for a touchdown.
Auburn and Arkansas should be a great second half of play, and let's talk about some keys. Mike, what do you look for keys for Arkansas?
Well, I think for Arkansas, the Razorbacks have to come out and do the same things they did in the first half. The turnover battle is even at 1 apiece, so they're not putting the ball on the ground. The 1 interception, of course, down by the 5-yard line. The guy probably should not have caught it, but Houston's got to be pleased with field position turnovers.
We'll have the second half when we return on College Sports Southeast. About to start the third quarter at a sold-out Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn and Arkansas tied at 14 in what was a very entertaining and, for the most part, a well-played first half. There's Rudy Johnson. Good first half for Rudy, kind of a Rudy-like first half. 13 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. And his touchdown run was a thing of beauty from 23 yards. Looks like Johnson will go over the 100-yard mark for the 7th time in 8 games if that trend continues. And on the other side of the field, Fred Talley was pretty darn good as well. Talley, 13 carries, 110 yards in that scintillating 80-yard burst. Just a sprint right up the middle of the field.
When he crossed the goal line, he was running away from defenders.
Yep. Auburn lost the toss, so the Tigers receive in the second half. And Auburn will open up at its own 20-yard line.
Some of the better field position that Auburn's starting out with is their own 20-yard line.
4 of Auburn's 6 drives in the first half started at inside its own 10. You know that can't exactly please that man, Tommy Tuberville.
Well, I want to tell you what, guys, this is just good Southeastern Conference football here today.
Which certainly is.
Incidentally, Arkansas has lost 7 straight Southeastern Conference football games. The last victory right here 2 years ago.
And 7 straight on the road. They won here 2 years ago with a very good team. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Auburn. Rudy Johnson will get the carry. And Johnson gets a 5-yard burst to open up the second half. Randy Garner, who's from Atlanta, Texas, makes the stop for Arkansas. Garner suffered a sprained neck in the Boise State game, and as Mike mentioned at the top of today's show, it's not the red color of Arkansas, it's the Red Cross with as many injuries as this team has had.
It's been an unbelievable season.
The fact that Arkansas still remains in the race in the West despite those injuries is amazing. Here's 2nd and 4 for Auburn. Johnson got 6 yards on first down. He'll get the ball again. Squirts through a seam and maybe gets a yard, and that is about all. Jeremiah Harper, the bandit linebacker out of Mayflower, Arkansas, with the initial push for the Razorbacks, and it will set up a 3rd down situation for Auburn.
Well, right away, 2 plays into the second half, a big down right here for Auburn. They want to keep this drive alive. They're a type of team that is not going to have the quick drives like Arkansas's had today. They're going to have the 5 and 6 and 7 minute drives. It starts right here on this 3rd down.
In the first half, Auburn was 50%, 4 of 8. So was Arkansas. 3rd and 3 now for the Tigers at a 4 wide set. Leard throws. It's picked off and dropped. Almost intercepted by Corey Harris.
J.J. Jones, the linebacker, was coming across as well and might have shielded Harris just a little bit. Let's watch as the pass is made. See Harris coming across there. Now he had it in his hands there. Just let it get away. Good start for the Arkansas defense, though, to the second half.
Damon Duvall to punt it away. 42 yards per punt in the first half. And he'll be asked to boom one here. And he does. Travaris Robinson brings down Stedman Campbell. Almost no return at all. Duvall with a good, high, deep punt. 47 yards on the punt from Duvall, and Arkansas will open up 1st and 10 on its initial drive of the second half at the 27-yard line.
Like you said, Mike, this was a good start for that Arkansas defense. Now the challenges to the Auburn defense, who had kind of got picked on at the corner position in Rodney Creighton.
13-13 to go in the 3rd quarter. Auburn and Arkansas tied at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
We all took an oath to put our patients first.
Blue Cross helps us to do that, whereas no other insurance carrier does.
Right.
Blue Cross not only has an advisory panel, but they give physician report cards.
The report card, these kind of things help us
re-examine the way we approach
That's
certain
right.
problems.
I care about what my patients feel and the trauma they're going through.
And that's just part of being a doctor. You're taking care of folks. Having a partner like Blue Cross to help makes it a heck of a lot easier.
I'm always coming up with great new promotions for 7-Up. Like this one. I ask people to send me pictures of their cans. Let's take a look. Oh! Look like 2 big Christmas hams. It shows you can. Look at the backyard on this fella. That about ends the first annual 7-Up Show Us Your Can contest. Next time I'll be more specific. Mom?
The new videotape celebrating Jim Fife's 20th year as voice of the Tigers is ready to ship to your door. Some of the greatest moments of the last 20 years is called by Jim Fife are contained on the tape, and this is a must for your Auburn collection. Call 1-800-208-2112 or log on to the website at www.aunetwork.com to purchase your copy.
Great gentleman, Jim Fife.
Boy, I was listening to that CD on the way down here, and it makes you still have chills.
Are you on there?
A few times.
Okay.
A few times. I was track 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22.
But you're just guessing at that, right, Stan? All right. From the 29, first down and 10 for Arkansas. Tally of the lone back for the Razorbacks. Hampton will throw. And he throws, and it's complete to Snowden. Snowden down at the 31-yard line. He busted it afterward, but went down at the 31.
Had a knee on the ground when he caught the pass. We're going to get another look at it, but let's see if he didn't have his right knee on the ground when he made the catch. Yep.
Next year in the pros, that will work. 2-yard gain for Arkansas on first down to the 31. Snowden has been busy. That was his 4th catch of the day. Tally up the middle. Tally just shy of the 35-yard line. James Collier, who's bounced around this year. He's been a linebacker. He's been an outside linebacker. He's been a defensive end, now playing at the middle. Makes the tackle for Auburn and gets a rest.
Tally just 5'9", 190, and easy for a little guy, I guess, to get lost up there in the land of the Giants.
Collier's a nice story coming back from big-time knee surgery. And it's good to see him out there.
3rd and 5 for the Hogs. The play action and the rollout. Hampton throws. It's complete to Snowden, shy of the first down. Boy, that's a nice play out there by Rodney Creighton on a one-on-one tackle against the 6'2" Michael Snowden.
And you got to give Creighton's mates in the secondary credit, too. Great coverage downfield. Hampton wanted to throw downfield, but again has to go to the safety valve.
That was a great open field tackle. Creighton kind of got picked on in the first half with the big, tall receivers, but does a good job with an open field tackle. Uses a sideline to his advantage.
Here's the punt from Butler. Boy, he hits a dandy. Marcel Willis back to the 11. And Willis gets to the 20.
Marcel Willis on the return from the 12.
Corey Warren on the stop after the 51-yard punt by Richie Butler.
Arkansas's coverage on kick teams today has been the best it's been all year long.
And punt return has been a problem for Auburn of late, and Arkansas has added to that trouble here this afternoon. Timeout on the field with 11:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter as Ben Leard and the offense about to get its second crack here in the second half. As Mike mentioned just as we went into the second half, Stan, this is just good old-fashioned SEC football game.
Boy, it certainly is. Tied up 14-14. You see Arkansas. Auburn gets on the board first. Arkansas bounces right back with an 80-yard touchdown run right up the middle. It's just been an exciting football game so far.
You know, Tommy Tuberville's has done such a great job here at Auburn, and fans get caught up in when he was at Ole Miss. and Arkansas had a coaching vacancy. There was talk about Tuberville coming to Arkansas and Houston Nutt, and who was offered the job first. Was it Tuberville or was it Houston Nutt? And I know fans get caught up in that more than coaches and players do, but I tell you what, I think there's a little special feeling there between both these two teams to beat the other.
This has been a tough team for Tommy Tuberville to beat. Arkansas has played very well against Tuberville coach teams.
Shut out Ole Miss a couple of years ago and then beat Auburn, of course, last year.
Tennessee beat South Carolina 17-14 at Williams-Brice. Laird going down the sideline. Willis got it. Let me tell you what, that's pretty darn good coverage from Eddie Jackson and a nice catch from Marcel Willis.
Well, it certainly was. You cannot beat that coverage, but if a good quarterback's going to put it on the outside shoulder, a good receiver is going to go up and catch it high, and that's exactly what they did right here.
Eddie Jackson and Corey Harris were both there.
That ball thrown to the boundary. That was a pretty good pass from Ben Laird, as it turned out, Stan.
More times than not, you're going to have long balls are going to be caught that way. You're never going to see a ball caught in dead stride. You take a look, Central Florida up 10-7 on Alabama early in the game.
It's got to be a little nervous feeling in Tuscaloosa. Auburn out to the 45. Rudy Johnson with the run. Rudy Johnson for 3, maybe 4 yards before Randy Garner makes the stop.
Let me tell you, Central Florida's got a pretty good football team down there.
Well, they've scared Auburn a couple times here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I know that. While that Tennessee game against South Carolina really hurts the Gamecocks with regard to that Eastern Division. And that's South Carolina's first loss of the season. The Gamecocks fall to 5-2 in the league, and they'll be in second place in the SEC East when this day is over. First place will either be Georgia or Florida. Here's Johnson trying to get to the outside, and that was a mistake. Johnson gets tied up by Ken Hamlin, the free safety, and he'll lose 4 yards.
Started to say on the play just before this that Randy Garner ought to be named SEC Defensive Player of the Week for tackling Rudy Johnson all by himself. But I tell you what, Ken Hamlin's making a statement right here, too. He wasn't going to let him go, was he?
Well, he certainly wasn't. He's got that 3 and that 2. He's not going to throw him down to the ground, but he's going to hold him up enough for his teammates to come and help him out.
What you couldn't hear was him yelling, "Help, help, help."
Let me make a correction. That was South Carolina's second loss in the league today. Here's a 3rd and 10 for Auburn. Laird on the play action. He throws to Reggie Worthy. He's shy of the first down, and he'll stay that way. Nice play by DeAndre Berry. So we've seen 2 good open field tackles by respective defenses on 3rd downs already in this 3rd quarter by Rodney Creighton, and that time by DeAndre Berry.
Good play right here. Play action pass. Ben Laird sets up, throws the curl to Worthy, but a good open field tackle right there. Worthy knows he's got to get to the line, but he doesn't make it.
I think the crowd wanted Tuberville to go for it in this situation, but you can't do that this early in the 3rd quarter.
Duvall to punt it. And he hits it high into the sun. Fair catch called for and taken by Stedman Campbell. And Arkansas will have the ball at its own 11-yard line. 9:17 to go in the 3rd. Auburn and Arkansas remain tied at 14. Don't miss the most in-depth college sports news show on television nightly at 6:30. It's College Sports Central, and it's only on College Sports Southeast. For more information, log on to the College Sports Central website, collegesportscentral.com, or call 205-425-6935. First down for Arkansas. Talley shows a little bit of power as he drags Larry Kasher across the 20-yard line, and that's a first down for Arkansas.
Got a little crease right at the line of scrimmage and was able to turn it on, get through that hole. And well, I tell you what, this was a good job by the defender right there to get him and hold on, because he gets by that guy or bounces off of him, he's gone.
Talley on the run again across the line of scrimmage. Again, Talley breaking tackles, this time out to the 30. That's an 8-yard gain for Talley before Javor Mills cleans up for Auburn.
We know he has speed because we saw the 80-yard touchdown run in the 1st quarter, but he showed power on those last 2 runs.
Possibly some poor tackling by Auburn. Here's 2nd and 2 for the Razorbacks. Hampton to throw, and the ball deflected. Auburn blitzed both Courtney Rose and Reggie Torbor from the end, and I think Torbor was the one that got his hand on the ball.
And on that one, they're lucky that it got tipped. Adam Daly was wide open in the flat. Take a look at it right here. If that ball doesn't get tipped, Adam Daly, look, you see it right there, he's wide open.
So 3rd and 2 for the Razorbacks.
3rd and 2 at the 30.
Arkansas 4 of 9 on 3rd down. Hampton to throw, complete to Daly, who has the first down. Collier brought him down, but Daly got the first down by about a yard. Arkansas just slips that fullback out of there, and he was the only one on that side of the field for the Razorbacks, but it's enough for a first down.
It looked like the same play. They ran it to this side as they did the last time when Daly was wide open, come right back to it and hit him in the flat for the first down.
Out to the 33-yard line for the Razorbacks. Hampton to Talley, down behind the line.
Well, that's the way to stop him, is to get to him before he gets started.
You're exactly right. They get to him in the backfield. Once he gets that hole, he is in and out quickly. But Javor Mills goes inside his block and does a good job of taking down Talley in the backfield.
A loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 for the Razorbacks. Hampton pressured, throws complete, an acrobatic catch at the 41-yard line by Boo Williams. Shy of the first down, but how did he hold on to that one?
Bobbled it for a moment. Got control of it as he was coming down.
Dude, that's the second time. Auburn may need to look at their spikes or something. That's the second time Larry Kasher has slipped down on a break.
Here's 3rd and 2 for Arkansas. Kasher out of the game on this 3rd down and possible running situation. Brandon Holmes checks in at tailback. Hampton running out of time. The play is run. Holmes, no, they'll stop it. It will be delay of game against Arkansas. Stan, you've been in that situation. Folks wonder how in the world you can see that clock running down and still not get the play up, but you don't always see the clock, do you?
Let's listen to the call, and I'll tell you afterwards.
Delay of game against the offense.
Auburn read that play. You saw James Collier was calling where it was going to get run to the right side. Hampton knew that. He moves his fullback, Adam Daly, over to the left side to run it to the opposite side. Auburn just snipped it out and knew what the call was going to be, so they changed it at the very end.
So instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 7.
So far, Arkansas has done the play action pass and rolling the quarterback out of the pocket on these situations.
Hampton in trouble, throws, it's complete. Snowden's got it, and he fumbles the ball, and Travaris Robinson has it for Auburn. I think, will they say he's down? I think they're going to say no fumble.
Yep, he was down, they say.
He is down, and not only is it not a fumble, it's a first down for Arkansas. Well, we'll get another look at it. Snowden with the catch. There's the hit by Creighton. Wow, that's close, guys.
Ooh, very close. It's hard to tell. His knee was going down right there, but the ball was coming out at the same time. That's
a tough call. They will measure to be certain that it's a first down for Arkansas. And it is a half-yard shy, so 4th down. 4th and a half yard, and now decision time for Houston Nutt.
Well, he's a bit of a gambler like Tommy Tuberville, Mike. You think he'll go for it, or you think he's going to take the conservative way out?
He's going to kick it. He's going to kick it.
Well, you can understand that because his defense has played well this
you know, and if you're at home, you do that, you go for it in this situation, but on the road, you got to kick it away.
I think you're right.
Robbie Hampton, boy, had all kind of pressure when he got rid of that one. Here's Richie Butler to punt. Maybe. Can't rule out the fake here. 6:04 to go on the third. They've already faked once. The snap. Butler will kick it away. And another nice kick by Butler. Marcel Willis calls for the fair catch, and Auburn once again pinned deep in its own territory, back to the 6. 51 yards. Let me tell you what, Richie Butler has punted very well this afternoon for Arkansas.
Kicking the ball very well. This field position didn't seem to be a big problem for Auburn in that second quarter. Tigers took it 95 yards on that last scoring drive.
From the 6, 1st and 10 for Auburn. There's Noel Mazzoni, Auburn's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach.
Well, how much would he want to have the ball at midfield starting off?
He'd love it.
Guys, this has been a pretty well played game in terms of penalties. I think Auburn, just the 3 penalties for 17 yards in the first half. Arkansas has been penalized twice for 15 yards.
They had to reset the play clock. So Auburn goes from its own 7, actually. Play action. Lear to throw out of the end zone to Reggie Worthy. Worthy has it to the 15-yard line and stays on his feet close to the 20. Good individual effort by Reggie Worthy. DeAndre Berry hanging on for dear life for Arkansas. But that will get Auburn out of the shadow of its old goal line stand.
Well, it certainly will. And Noel Mazzoni's known for taking chances out of his own end zone. Does a good job with the play action fake. Ben Laird throws the curl route on time. Look at the effort by Worthy. Berry gets over there for the tackle, but Worthy sees the sticks. He's looking at where he's got to go and drags the defender on.
From the 19, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Auburn getting 12 yards on first down. Leard now running out of time. Barely got the play off. Looking to the sideline for Worthy. He's got it. Reggie Worthy down to the 46. DeAndre Berry with the coverage, and that was a finely thrown ball. I'm not sure finally is a word. Finally, it was a well-thrown ball by Leard.
We're not seeing, that's the first time we've seen Worthy one-on-one going deep. Not the fastest receiver they have, but Ben Laird sees the one-on-one coverage, takes a drop, lets it go after his 5 steps. Good blocking right in there, and what a catch right there by James Worthy.
Guys, DeAndre Berry is one of those backs that as long as he can keep the receiver in front of him, he's in great shape. But if a guy gets even with him or past him, he has trouble recovering. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Auburn go at him again right here or for the rest of the afternoon.
From the 46, Leard will call time. He was running out of time. That play clock was down to 1 when Ben Leard called the timeout. 4:44 remaining in the third quarter. Auburn at the Arkansas 46. This game is tied at 14 when we return on College Sports Southeast. The new Auburn Network Store catalog is now available. The Auburn Network Store has that special Auburn souvenir you've been needing. T-shirts, autographed footballs, and basketballs. And the new Gym 5 20th anniversary video and CD. Call the Auburn Network Store at 1-800-208-2112 or visit the website at www.aunetwork.com. Offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni talking it over with his offense.
Well, Mike, like you said, it certainly hasn't bothered Auburn being inside their 10-yard line. They started on their own 6, and now they're at the Arkansas 46.
Well, not only are they making it look easy, but they're picking up chunks of yardage and making it look easy against the Arkansas defense. Got to get a little more pressure on that quarterback.
And if we remember correctly, Auburn started out passing on that other long drive they had to Tim Carter, a corner route.
Just took 2 plays to go from the 7 to the Arkansas 47, and now Leard will pass again. He's got time. He throws. Rudy Johnson a one-handed catch and maybe gets a half yard, and that is all. What a play by Quentin Caver and a pretty nice catch by Rudy Johnson.
Boy, the Anniston native just put a stick on a big 5'10", 230-pound Rudy Johnson in the flat. Good tackle right there.
Not bad to see a linebacker out there that quick, huh?
Let me tell you what, he's a big game guy as well. Caver had 22 tackles in the win over Alabama, and rightly so was named SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
This guy will be playing on Sundays next year.
Boy, pros have got to love this guy's size and speed, Mike.
No question.
Here's 2nd and 9 from the 45 for Auburn. Inside handoff for Rudy Johnson. Johnson with nowhere to roam. He got turned in by the Will linebacker, J.J. Jones. And Auburn now has 3rd down and long.
Arkansas does a good job of snipping out this draw play out of the shotgun. Ben Laird checks to it. They had a 2-deep coverage type out there, had 5 DBs in there. They checked to a draw, but a good job by J.J. Jones and company to get up there and make a stick.
A great job by that Arkansas defense once Jones made the stick to get up and help out.
3rd and 10 for Auburn. The Tigers are 4 of 10 on the day. Laird throws. He throws the fade route from Marcel Willis, who has it. Willis at the 21-yard line. Double coverage by Eddie Jackson and Ken Hamlin.
Mike, what can you say? It wasn't a great throw by any means, but he gave Marcel Willis a chance to go up and get it, and he does just that. Take a look at it over Hamlin and Jackson. Just a great individual effort right there.
He just wanted it and went up and got it.
25 yards on the pass from Laird to Willis.
Well, that reminds you of one Frank Sanders from a few years back.
Yeah, sure looks similar, doesn't it? Movement up front. It was Kurt Davis. One of the few times we've seen the flags thrown this afternoon. And this one is going to be marked off against Auburn, I think.
That ball, offsides, against the defense. 5
Reason
yards.
that I'm not wearing the stripes on the sideline.
Mike, you were talking about big receivers. Arkansas has 6'4", 6'2", 6'3". Auburn as well. Reggie Worthy's their smallest guy. Well, I would say Clifton Robinson. He's more of an H-back. But Reggie Worthy, 6 foot tall. Ronnie Daniels, 6'1". Marcel Willis, 6'1". So DeAndre Green, number 86, 6'2". So you're seeing the taller, I call it San Francisco 49er type receivers.
At the 16, 1st down for Auburn. 1st and 5. Heath Evans on the carry. And Evans springs free for maybe 3 on the play. Carlos Hall with the tackle. You mentioned Ronnie Daniels, Stan. Auburn does not have Ronnie Daniels. He has the shoulder pads off, and it doesn't look like Auburn will have number 25 today.
Well, he sustained a high ankle sprain last week, and he was questionable going into the game. And he, as you see, he's on the sideline with no pads on.
I don't know if you can hear it or not, but a team of helicopters flying right over the stadium. Here's 2nd down and 2. Laird throws, complete. Clifton Robinson, and it's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown.
Ben Laird and company got very lucky right there in the fact that that ball was almost picked off going the other way.
Well, I think Corey Harris read the play. He saw it coming. He just didn't get there quick enough. Watch this.
He certainly didn't, and you're not going to see it right there. He almost got to it, but Clifton Robinson goes in, and as my partner would say, it's pay dirt.
Diving into the end zone for the touchdown, and Auburn has taken the lead again. Duvall attempting the extra point out of the hold of Justin Fetzko on the snap from Michael Lindsey. And And the Tigers now lead by 7. Another look at the touchdown by Clifton Robinson, and boy, how close is this to going the other way for Arkansas?
Well, it certainly was. It was 1 inch away from getting picked for about 80 yards, but Clifton Robinson does an excellent job, Mike, of getting into the end zone, gets to the 5-yard line. Looks like he may come up short, but he just lays his body out and dives toward the pylon.
I didn't get who the other defender was, or the other offensive player was back there, but he did a good job, too, not to get Corey Harris in the back.
Well, he certainly did. He certainly did.
Went to the ground and made a good decision, and that could have been a disaster from that standpoint as well.
Well, 94-yard drive that time. They're certainly not letting it get to them where they're starting off the game, or starting off the drive. My bad.
Here's second kickoff now from Duvall as the Tigers go up, and now the question is, will Arkansas respond? They've done it twice already today, going 80 yards after both of Auburn's touchdowns.
Well, they certainly have.
Well, the important thing, of course, is believing that you can respond, and coming into this game, Arkansas needed something to reinforce that belief. They know now that they can do it.
Duvall booms the kickoff deep into the end zone, and Arkansas will have it 1st and 10 at its own 20. Well, after each of the touchdowns by Auburn in the first half, Arkansas responded with an 80-yard touchdown drive that went under 2 minutes. This drive for Auburn, 7 plays, 93 yards, 413, capped off by the catch and run by Clifton Robinson for Auburn.
When you saw Reggie Worthy was a big part of that last drive, caught a big fade pattern, caught a curl for a first down, a fade pattern. He really put up a lot of yards in that last drive.
From the 20, first down for Arkansas. The handoff to Talley, hit behind the line by Lincoln, but dives forward and gets 5 yards on the play. Casher and Collier combined, and Mike, we're seeing a little power out of the little guy Talley in the second half.
Seeing a little more power out of him than we've seen during the year. I mean, he's able to hit him above the waist. He's spinning away and bouncing away, as you saw right there, and getting the extra yardage.
He's spinning away from Auburn's top tackler, Alex Lincoln.
And he came in there untouched.
Yeah. 2nd and 5 for the Razorbacks. The play action in Hampton. Looks and throws. It's incomplete, intended for his tight end, Marcellus Poydras. Well, Stan, you'll recall a year ago, Mike, the same. It was tight end Joe Dean Davenport that scored 2 touchdowns against Auburn.
Well, he certainly did, and he really was their Achilles heel last year. He had a heck of a game against Auburn in the rain, in the muck. I remember it rained almost the whole day long.
He was Auburn's Achilles heel, not Arkansas.
Yeah, he was Auburn's Achilles heel.
I really thought we'd see Arkansas maybe go to the tight end a little more today, but if I recall, that's the first pass to a tight end today.
Well, you're right. Here's 3rd and 5 for the Hogs. Hampton to the sideline, incomplete. He overthrew Richard Smith. And this big crowd erupts, applauding its defense for holding Arkansas 3 downs and out.
Now that ball was thrown high, but you didn't get a chance to see DeMarco McNeil put pressure on Hampton right up the middle. It may have caused him to throw that ball a little bit high.
Auburn looks like it may try and block this punt from Richie Butler. And Butler, another nice punt. This time Marcel Willis from the 24, and he fumbles and recovers. And he's gone. He's down at the 30. Now that punt coverage has been terrific this afternoon from Arkansas. 51 yards on the day for Butler. Mike, this has got to be some career day for Richie Butler.
He's having a good day. He's got a very, very strong leg. And he's kicked the ball very well throughout the season.
You know, guys, I'm not so sure that Auburn wouldn't want to back the ball up and start inside the 10-yard line. They've had some pretty good drives today outside of the 10, or inside the 10-yard line.
From the 31, first down for Auburn. The rollout by Leard. with some time throwing, and it's intercepted. The interception from Ken Hamlin near midfield for Arkansas.
That right there was just a bad read by Ben Leard. He had a corner route and he had a sit-down smash route on the outside. You see the play action fake right here, but he's got to go down. He's got to go low with this on the outside.
And that's no ordinary freshman out there intercepting that pass either, guys. He has played tremendous football for Arkansas this year in the secondary, and I mentioned it earlier in the first half. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Leading interceptor on this Arkansas team.
16 tackles as well against Alabama. So Arkansas with the ball back at the 49. Talley on the carry. Stacked up at the line. Dontarius Thomas and Whit Smith combined for Auburn. A yard gain, and that's about all for Fred Talley.
Well, it's got to be a letdown for that Auburn defense. Go out there and hold Arkansas 3 downs, and Auburn gets the ball in good field position for a change on their own 30-yard line, and they come right back with a turnover.
The third quarter has come to a close. Auburn with the only damage. The Tigers lead 21-14. The press box at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Hard at work, aren't they?
They are.
Yes.
They are. The cheerleaders are.
That was a thrilling shot of the press box. Action-packed. The third quarter begins with Arkansas at midfield, 2nd down and 9. After Auburn held Arkansas following the Tiger touchdown, 3 downs and out. On the very first play offensively, Ben Leard threw his 2nd interception of the day. Arkansas got a yarder and 1st down, and that brings you up to date. We begin the 4th quarter with the ball at midfield, and Auburn leading the Razorbacks by 7. Talley on the draw. Talley spins away from one tackle and gets close to the 1st down. He may have the 1st down. Courtney Rose and Larry Kasher. And boy, all of a sudden, Fred Talley has become very tough for Auburn to tackle.
On the draw play, of course, you get the handoff a little later. Gives the offensive line a little more time up front to make their blocks, and Talley can pick his hole a little better.
That's a 9-yard run by Talley.
Boy, he's been impressive, hasn't he?
He certainly has. 1st and 10 from the Auburn 40. Talley off right tackle. Gets 3 yards. Hit first by Alex Lincoln along the line of scrimmage. Talley had over 100 yards rushing in the first half alone.
Well, the thing that's been so impressive about Talley and that offensive line is they're not going against a bad defense against the rush. Auburn is 14th in the country, giving up on average of 93 yards a game, and Talley himself has 149, Mike.
But remember, this is an Arkansas team that averages over 144 yards rushing a game, without Cedric Cobbs for most of the season. 2nd and 7. Hampton to the sideline, and it is complete. Boo Williams, yep, with the catch.
What a fitting name for this weekend.
How long have you been waiting to use that one, Stan? Because I know you came to the stadium thinking about that one.
Oh, yeah.
I know. 1st down for Arkansas at the Auburn 27. So the Razorbacks taking advantage of the miscue by Auburn. Boo Williams, 4 catches, 47 yards. Talley with a nice move in the backfield to get 2 yards to the 25. Alton Moore, who was a 2-time JUCO All-American at Southwest Mississippi Junior College, on the stop for Auburn. Alton Moore, 6'6", 260, and a junior. 15 quarterback sacks last year as a sophomore in junior college. Second down. The play clock is down to 4. Hampton will throw. He throws the fade route. And it's incomplete. Well, there was some bumping going on between Rodney Creighton and Sparky Hamilton. But no flags are thrown.
Well, at 6'5", 215 pounds, Hamilton has got a huge size difference over Creighton. But Creighton just gets enough of it to cause the incompletion.
Now you talk about a big third down. 3rd and 8 from the 25 for Arkansas. The Razorbacks 5 of 12 on 3rd down today. It's the draw to Talley. Talley shy of the first down by 1.5 yards. Simmons and Casher, the free safety and the cornerback on the stop for Auburn. And it's decision time for Houston Nutt. Does he go for it? Does he settle for the field goal attempt?
I really believe, Mike, if he had a proven field goal kicker, that I don't think there'd be any question you kick the field goal. But I'm not so sure. I think they're going to go for it.
They're going to call timeout and talk about it before they make a decision.
Houston Nutt wanting that timeout, and it still hasn't been called on the field, and now the clock stops. 12:05 to go, 4th down, Auburn by 7. CollegeSportsCentral.com is your one-stop website for college sports in the Southeast. The site brings you up-to-the-minute schedules, results, and standings from the Southeastern Conference. College Sports Southeast is your source for college sports. Well, the indication prior to the timeout was Arkansas would go for it. The Razorbacks used their first timeout of the second half. And you think they'll stick with that, Mike?
I think they're going to go for it.
I think it's needless to say this is the biggest play of the game for both Arkansas and for Auburn.
If you're Auburn on that defensive front, you want to make sure you don't jump offside. If you're Arkansas and you're trying to run it, you want to get a big surge.
They got their big running back in the backfield also.
Holmes replaces Talley at tailback. Long count by Hampton, who's going to throw. He's in trouble, getting away. He throws, and it's incomplete. Auburn got good pressure on Hampton. It was Javor Mills who put the pressure on Hampton, who threw it away.
Andy, Mike, you know who made that play, though? It was Alex Lincoln, number 43, covering the fullback out of the backfield. He is the one that made that play for Auburn. Adam Daly was going to pop out. That's who Hampton wanted right there. But look at Alex Lincoln on the coverage right there. Does an excellent job of not biting on the play fake.
And then tries to throw it back across his body and to the tight end. And Larry Casher was there. And there was some contact.
Didn't see the end of the play, but Hampton was hurt. Maybe we can get a shot of him on the sideline, but Hampton is hurt.
From the 19, 1st down. This is Rudy time for Auburn. And Rudy Johnson squirts forward out to the 27-yard line. Corey Harris on the stop.
And this is where Rudy has just been so dangerous. When Auburn has been ahead going into the 4th quarter, you see it time and time, and game after game, they give the ball to number 32, and he just uses his power to run inside the tackle and run that clock.
2nd and 2 for Auburn. Johnson with 8 yards on 1st down. Johnson again. Rudy Johnson with a flag down. Down the sidelines, Johnson taken out of bounds at the 35, but a flag was thrown. This will come back.
It's thrown by the sideline judge, so you think it's going to be on number 71, Colin Sears.
The Arkansas trainers, and this is looking ahead. Let's see if we can see this penalty here.
Got his hands outside.
Right.
Now,
kind of took the guy down.
Yeah.
Holding.
The idea is you don't get your hands outside the shoulder pads, Stan.
You're exactly right, and I'm no lineman, but that's the rule is don't get your hands outside the shoulder pads.
We're looking ahead to Arkansas's next offensive possession, guys. They are still working, the training staff, on the Arkansas quarterback on the far side, and Zach Clark, the young freshman out of Fayetteville, who hasn't practiced in 2 weeks because of injury, has begun to warm up and throw behind the Arkansas bench.
So we'll keep an eye on that for you.
It was hard to sell. There you see Zach Clark warming up. Robbie Hampton is just to his right, I think, on the bench, being tended to by the trainers. And I couldn't tell whether it was a shoulder or whether it was his hand again.
Clark, a freshman out of Fayetteville.
Yeah. There you see him.
Let me tell you guys, being a quarterback, ex-quarterback, having a thumb injury is just the most painful thing because you whip. There's another penalty down.
This will go against Arkansas.
Every time you throw the ball, your thumb has a whipping motion that it makes it just cringe every time you let the ball go.
5 yards. This will go against the nose guard, Kurt Davis.
Dead ball. Offsides. Gets the defense. 5 yards.
Mike, we were talking before we went on the air today, and you mentioned the concern for Arkansas if Robbie Hampton went out.
Well,
there is Hampton.
Zach Clark has not been able to practice for the last 2 weeks because of a severely sprained ankle, a high ankle sprain. We'll talk more about it in a moment.
Here's 2nd and 2 for Auburn. Rudy Johnson with the carry and spins close to the 30. He still may be shy of a first down. Looked like they were looking at the right shoulder of Robbie Hampton.
The guy that's gotten most of the work as the backup quarterback the last 2 weeks is a walk-on, Chris Link, junior college walk-on.
Rudy Johnson has gone over 100 yards for the 8th time this season, and it ties a school record held by that running back, Bo Jackson.
Wow.
8 100-yard rushing games, and he could break it in 2 weeks against Georgia.
What a great player.
Johnson just past the line, and he's got the first down for Auburn on 3rd down. Randy Garner on the tackle, but Johnson gets the first down as he was running down the line, and there's an injured Arkansas player on his back.
That may be number 91, Purvis Osborne. I can't see the number.
I think that's it. I think Purvis Osborne is some.
Boy, and like you were talking about, Mike, it's been a walking mass unit coming into the game.
Osborne is 275, guys. He gained 14 pounds in the offseason just to get to 275. And he is down, and boy, he's in some pain, you can tell.
Houston Nutt heading out to midfield to check on him. Houston's just got to be shaking his head. I mean, things to this point in the ball game, when Hampton went out a few moments ago and now Purvis Osborne, things were going pretty well for Arkansas in terms of the injury front, but the last couple minutes have not been good at all, and Zach Clark continuing to throw behind the Arkansas bench.
Purvis Osborne is the injured Arkansas player. There's Zach Clark, who, as Mike mentioned, suffered a high ankle sprain in the 4th quarter of the South Carolina game. That was 2 weeks ago. Arkansas used 3 different quarterbacks in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Jared McBride is the other quarterback. He was injured in the ball game as well, and since has undergone reconstructive knee surgery with a torn ACL. So he is out for the year. McBride and Clark were kind of number 2s. There you see Robbie Hampton, and that right shoulder, I think, is what's bothering him. And look at Purvis Osborne. He's having to be helped off the field.
Well, you know, it's just got to be frustrating for Houston Nutt and for the teammates or the team themselves to see just week after week someone getting injured, and it's, you know, sometimes I guess that's just the way it happens. Sometimes it just piles up.
Well, Auburn knows what it's like. I mean,
Sure.
2-3 years ago, Auburn didn't have a starting lineup on the front line offensively for 2 straight weeks all year. Auburn went through 5 centers one year. Here's 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 31. Leard off the play action. He's going deep for Willis and overthrows it. I'm not sure that there may have been some miscommunication between Leard and Willis.
Had to be. I think Willis was going to slant across the field, and Leard thought he was going to go deep on the post.
Yeah, I think Leard was maybe looking flag route, and he ran post.
Well, that was one where, as Mike was talking, Willis, I think, wanted to go more of an angle route across the field to get away from the defender because there was no free safety in the middle. Leard didn't read it or didn't see it. He wanted to lead him more upfield.
2nd and 10 for Auburn from the 31. Rudy Johnson on the carry. Johnson stood up and fights his way for 2 yards, and that's about all. J.J. Jones with the initial hit.
You know, I started to say just before that play, we've talked about the Arkansas injuries and what the Hogs will do when they get the ball back. They've got to get the ball back first. I mean, Auburn has a 7-point lead in this ball game, and Arkansas has not been able to stop Auburn very effectively.
Well, Auburn is at 50%, 6 for 12 on 3rd down conversions today. None bigger than this one, though. It's 3rd and 8.
Leard with time, throws, it's picked off almost. Corey Harris had nothing but green in front. If he catches it, this game is tied.
He was thinking 6 too.
The pass intended for Clifton Robinson, and Auburn dodges a big-time bullet.
Clifton Robinson does a good job here of just distracting Corey Harris. Ben Leard has got to be able to get rid of the ball. He hesitates, and watch right here. Clifton Robinson does a great job of playing the defender there, knows that it's going to be picked off, and he comes in and just gets enough on it to distract Corey Harris.
Well, it looks like Arkansas will get the ball back after the punt by Damon Duval, who hit it off the side of his foot. And Arkansas will have the ball at midfield. Well, we haven't seen that very often from Damon Duval this season. But it comes at an opportune time, to be sure, for Arkansas. The Razorbacks will have the ball at midfield with 9:04 to go, trailing Auburn by 7. Zach Clark has checked in for Arkansas at quarterback. 6'2", 200 pounds, a true freshman from Fayetteville.
His dad, Doug Clark, is an assistant to Norm DeBryan of the Arkansas baseball team. But what Zach gives you is a guy with a very strong and accurate arm, and he gets rid of the ball very quickly. He can, when the receiver comes open, Zach is able to get rid of the football and get it to him on time.
He was 7 of 12 for 79 yards at South Carolina before he injured his ankle. Here's the toss to Talley, and Talley gets about 2 yards back from that offsides penalty.
Stop made by number 43, Alex Lincoln.
Lincoln on the stop for Auburn. There's the year for Zach Clark. As Mike mentioned, his father an assistant on the baseball team, and his brother Cody is a freshman on the baseball team for Norm DeBryan. Four wides, Clark to throw. In trouble, still in trouble, throws, and it's almost intercepted. Roderick Hood diving for that ball, and it will bring up 3rd down for the Razorbacks. DeMarco McNeil and Whit Smith making his presence known this afternoon.
Well, he certainly is, and this has got to be a tough situation for Zach Clark, having not practiced in 2 weeks, taking the drop right there. Look at Tolbor coming on the end, Whit Smith coming and just crunching him at the very end. But, Mike, this has got to be a tough situation for the young quarterback.
Oh, no question about it.
Roderick Hood from Columbus, Georgia, a walk-on until 2-a-days, and he was put on scholarship for Auburn. Big play. 3rd and 12. Play action, Clark to throw. Floats it to the sideline, and it's incomplete. Boo Williams, the intended receiver. I don't know if Creighton got his hand on the ball or not.
And I don't know if Boo saw that football until it hit his hand. There was a defender out in front of him, I think blocked his vision. As we take a look at it, I'm not sure he saw that football until it hit his hand.
Creighton was at the least able to distract on the play. Butler to punt, low snap, but he gets it away on a nice high punt. Marcel Willis with a fair catch at the 9-yard line. Well, Auburn is familiar with territory inside the 10. And now, Stan, you know, a year ago, Auburn does not have the ability, with 8:07 to go in a ball game, to take chunks of time off the clock.
Oh, they certainly
Not saying
don't.
they will here, but they have that ability this year with Rudy Johnson.
Well, and that's direct evidence to see they were 112th in rushing last year in the NCAA. They could not run the ball.
It's fair to say that Rudy Johnson has been the difference in this football team from a year ago to this year. I mean,
certainly
you look at him.
His presence and a healthy offensive line. From the 9, first down for Auburn. Rudy Johnson will get it. Rudy Johnson busts through. He's to the 15-yard line. Johnson for 6 yards.
You get a guy like that on your football team, and he's going to make everybody else better.
Well, he certainly is. And like Andy was, like you're going to have a hold.
This will come back.
More penalties at the. See it right there. You can't tell who it was. But the most inopportune time for a holding call.
You're not kidding. Instead of a 6-yard gain, this penalty will take it half the distance to the goal line. Back to the 5. That's a
Holding on the offensive line. Half the distance to the goal.
penalty that hurts Auburn, and it helps Arkansas.
First and 15 at the 5.
So Auburn backed up again with the goal line just behind. 5 penalties apiece. Laird will throw it. Short drop. Marcel Willis with the catch. Willis angles to the middle of the field and gets to the 19-yard line, and he almost got enough for a first down, and another flag goes down. And I think this is going to go against Auburn again.
Man.
And this may be a personal foul against Auburn. It's either a personal foul or a block in the back. And the Tigers right now are shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, they certainly are.
The Arkansas players are signaling over to Houston Nutt that it's a personal foul penalty against Auburn. And
I think it's going to be.
Here's the call.
Dead ball. Personal foul against the offense. That's the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Second down.
I think this came late in the play, and it was just a hit behind the tackle, but I can't be certain.
That's exactly right. It came very late in the play because they've moved the marker to second down. They've given him the yardage on the gain and then marked it off halfway to the goal line.
Well, there it is,
right there.
Well, that's deserved of a penalty. Second down for Auburn and 10. Rudy Johnson for 2 yards, and that is all. The penalty came when Lorenzo Diamond knocked Jermaine Petty to the ground after the play had ended. And now it's third down for Auburn and 7 as we approach the 7-minute mark. And now Rudy Johnson will come out, and Heath Evans is in for Auburn.
Well, they're putting their blocking back in, so you got to think that Auburn's going to pass it.
Auburn's going to have to hustle when it gets to the line. The play clock is inside 10.
3rd and 6 after 13.
Play clock down to 2. Laird floats it out to Heath Evans, who dropped the football. Evans got leveled by J.J. Jones. And Arkansas stands to get the ball back in good field position again.
Well, that play never really developed. They had to get up there quickly. Misread by Ben Laird. He thought he had Heath Evans wide open, but good coverage right there by Arkansas. He was better off not catching that. It would have been a loss.
Duvall kicked it off the side of his foot the last time. Auburn is asking for him to boom one now. And a nice punt. Campbell from the 35. Campbell to midfield.
That's a 14-yard return. A 51-yard kick.
51 yards on the punt by Duvall. He did his job, but Auburn's punt coverage does not. Nice return by Campbell of 14 yards.
The Arkansas offense, obviously, you would think has to do something on this possession. And one thing Arkansas cannot complain about here in the second half is field position. The Razorbacks have started from midfield the last two possessions, maybe the last three possessions. They've had great field position around midfield.
From the Auburn 49 is where this drive will start for Arkansas. Talley on the carry. He gets stood up behind the line and goes down. I don't know if we'll see it in the replay, but Javor Mills was fending off a block and stuck his arm out to stop Fred Talley.
Take a look at it right here. Dontarius Thomas comes in, but look at Javor Mills right there. That was just a good job of plugging up the hole. He didn't per se make the tackle, but he plugged the hole enough for Talley to run into his own lineman.
2nd and 11. A 4-wide set for the Razorbacks. Zach Clark, the backup quarterback. Robbie Hampton out with what we believe is an injured shoulder. It's the screen to Talley, and he's got all kinds of room to run. Talley hit by Rodney Creighton. He's down to the 9. A perfectly executed middle screen by Arkansas.
Auburn player down, and he is...
Creighton, who had the hit on Talley, is slow to get up.
What a play call right here by Houston Nutt and his offense. Right there, a middle screen on a blitz, and they made them pay for it.
Well, this is what Arkansas has worked on the last week or so, is trying to get Talley the football in open field situations, screen passing, but this is the first one we've seen to him today.
That went for 41 yards to the Auburn 9. Holmes on the carry. Brandon Holmes from the 9 to the 7. Second and goal now from the 7-yard line for Arkansas. Auburn by 7. The clock counting with 4:42 remaining. Clark to throw. Boo Williams can't hang on. The ball was behind Williams. Just a slant route by Williams. He was open, but the ball was thrown behind him.
Well, you see Zach Clark a little bit rusty right here. That's a result of not being able to practice.
Plenty of zip on the ball. He got it there in a hurry and on time. They're just a little bit behind him. Threw it on that right hip.
3rd and goal from the 7. Williams and Snowden split wide right. Double tight end set. Clark to the end zone, and no one home.
Boo Williams got up insisting that he had been interfered with, but
4th down, and Arkansas shows field goal right here. Still time remaining. 4:24 to go.
Interesting.
Brennan O'Donohoe. Well, that shows some faith in the defense, I guess. Brennan O'Donohoe to attempt the field goal from 24 yards. Out of the hold of Matt Bernstein. Chuck Nally the snap. On the way, and it splits the uprights. And with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, Arkansas has cut Auburn's lead down to 4. 21-17. Tigers on top. Log on to the collegesportscentral.com for the daily Health South SEC injury report. It's continually updated. The Health South injury report provides up-to-the-minute and complete injury information about every SEC matchup. Get your college sports news from your source for college sports, collegesportscentral.com. Well, there will be some Health South news coming out of this game.
Yes.
I look down into the Auburn locker room. Rob Pate is running off. We've seen Robbie Hampton leave the ball game, the starting quarterback for Arkansas.
Purvis Osborne as well.
Houston Nutt talks it over with freshman quarterback Zach Clark. The Razorbacks 6 plays, 42 yards, and the 24-yard field goal by Brennan O'Donohoe.
Well, Mike, you were talking earlier about this just being good old-fashioned SEC football.
Yeah,
well, it has not been disappointing today. It's been exciting, big plays, good defense at times, and it's just been just everything has been
good
like
football game.
By the way, guys, that 2 minutes and 2 seconds is the longest scoring drive of the day for Arkansas. Swartz to kick off. Would the Razorbacks be thinking onside this early? It's the sky kick. Short. Carter from the 15. End over end. Tim Carter goes flying out to the 32-yard line. Kevin Baker makes his second big hit on special teams this afternoon. And that kind of works out pretty good for Auburn, because this is by far the best field position for the Tigers in quite some time, out to the 32-yard line.
And another Arkansas player, Jeremiah Harper, got up limping.
Well, this kind of situation has been, as opposed to last year, you absolutely knew Arkansas was going to get the ball back. Now, Auburn has been able to hold the ball and run the clock in other games this year that they've won. Now, can they do it today? We'll see.
It's Auburn's best field position, gentlemen, since its first possession of the game at the 32. The pitch to Rudy Johnson, trying to get to the outside. Johnson will lose yardage. Johnson loses 3 yards. Derek Johnson, Carlos Hall stringing out that play for Arkansas.
Somebody made a stab at him right there and missed.
That's just solid pursuit by the Razorbacks. It's a loss of 5. By the way, we mentioned Rob Pate going off. He comes back out on the sidelines for Auburn when and if the Tigers go on defense. Second down and 15 for Auburn from the 27. There was movement at the right guard.
Boy, penalties at the most inopportune time for Auburn on both the last two drives.
Looked like Mike Pasilla was the one that jumped.
Dead ball. Ball start. It's the offense. 5 yards. Main second down.
Auburn is closing out a streak of 9 games in 9 weeks. The Tigers get their first and only off date next week. Arkansas, after its second off date, is in the beginning of a 5-game and 5-week streak with all Southeastern Conference games.
And 3 of those on the road.
Including today.
And then at Tennessee. Now they go home next week to play Ole Miss in Fayetteville, and then they play at Tennessee and at Mississippi State on back-to-back weekend.
Second and 20 for Auburn. Play action by Lear. Steps up and throws the ball behind Clifton Robinson. Well, that's almost a lateral.
Boy, Auburn's offense is really, they look like they're playing not to lose now, as opposed they're getting real conservative. Take a look at it right here. It seems like they're just playing to try to eat the clock up, and you can't do that in this type of game. In SEC games like that, you can't just play not to lose. You got to stay with your offensive plan, and they're obviously looking at the clock trying to run it out.
Long way to go here on third down.
Yes, it is. The Tigers need 20. Auburn will need to get to the 42-yard line for a first down. So what has Noel Mazzoni called for this 3rd and 20 situation?
Arkansas better find number 4.
It's the sweep by Clifton Robinson. And this absolutely goes nowhere.
Number 15, Clifton Robinson.
Jimmy Beasley on the stop.
Stop made by number 14, Jimmy Beasley.
Beasley, another one of the walking wounded. He injured his arm in practice this week, but plays today. Here's 4th down for Auburn, under 3 minutes remaining. Auburn leads by 4, but Arkansas set to get the ball back.
Well, if Auburn ever needed Damon Duvall to boom one, it's right now.
You're not kidding, and now Auburn will call a timeout.
Well, and that just helps out Arkansas, gives them another 15 or 20 seconds on the clock.
Well, it stops the clock as well. 2:40 to go. Auburn leads by 4, 21-17. Arkansas to get the ball back when we return on College Sports Southeast. Be a part of Auburn's greatest game day tradition by joining the Auburn Tiger Walk Brick Project. For more information about Auburn's Tiger Walk Brick Project, contact Tigers Unlimited at 1-800-AUB-1957. Well, here's the situation. 4th and 18 for Auburn. Tigers will punt it away at the 24. 2:40 remaining. Auburn leads Arkansas by 4. Duvall gets it away, end over end. Stedman Campbell with the return. And out to the 43-yard line. Arkansas put a pretty good rush on Duvall. And the Razorbacks set up pretty good right now.
Auburn's coaches obviously showing a lot of confidence in the Tiger defense by running that sweep on 3rd down. Not wanting to turn the ball over, take care of it, kick it away to Arkansas and let the defense stop them.
Well, the tempo of that drive was set on the very first play when Arkansas held Rudy Johnson to a -5-yard gain.
Snowden in motion. There was movement in the backfield. Clark throws. It's incomplete, and the flags come down. Talley moved just briefly before the play started.
Be an illegal shift then.
Dead ball. Ball start. Gets the offense. 5 yards.
Boy, it looked as if Arkansas had a sort of a trick play lined up. Looked like they were going to run a fake to Talley, roll out left, throw a screen back to him. And unfortunate for Arkansas, they got the penalty. Take a look at it.
Yep, Talley just briefly, just barely moved. Three wide set for the Razorbacks. The inside handoff to Talley, who slips down at the 40. Will Arkansas go no huddle? It appears so. Boy, this worked well against Auburn a week ago as Louisiana Tech employed it. Trips to the bottom of the screen for Arkansas. Zach Clark looks deep down the sideline, and it's picked off by Stanford Simmons. He eludes one man, and down at the 30. They threw the home run ball to Richard Smith, and Auburn's free safety Stanford Simmons got there to make the interception.
Boy, it's a costly error right here by Zach Clark. Wants to go deep with it. They're playing soft. Mike, you just got to think you got to take what you can get and get out of bounds with it as opposed to trying to go deep with it.
Take what you can get, or if you're going to go deep like that, you've got to throw it to the boundary side of the field, where if anybody's going to catch it, it's going to be your receiver. He threw that to the inside of the receiver. And, of course, Auburn had two defenders there.
Arkansas has 2 timeouts remaining. Auburn with 1. The Tigers start at the 30. Rudy Johnson runs it. Johnson for about 3 yards, and Arkansas will use 1 of its 2 remaining timeouts. The clock stops with 1:49 remaining.
Now, Arkansas is taking a timeout here. You know they're going to put 8 and 9 guys up there. I would look for Auburn here to do maybe a naked bootleg, fake it to Rudy Johnson, take this a high percentage pass completion route. Let Ben Laird, he's not the fastest guy, but fake it up the middle, let him roll out, throw it to the tight end. If he's covered, let him just run it and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, okay.
We'll see. We'll see if I'm the coach now.
Why not just run it on second down, see what you get, and then you have a down to play with if you have to throw the football. But
1:49 remaining, 21-17 Auburn. If you're Auburn, you just want to give the ball to Rudy and let him go.
I don't know. You may want to, but they're going to gear up to stop Rudy Johnson. I look for him to play action, let him roll out.
I think back to that sweet play on the 3rd and 20 play a while ago.
2nd and 8 for Auburn.
They just don't want to make a mistake, turn the ball over in this situation.
The day for Rudy Johnson, 107 yards and 27.